to the Morning Madness crew. And as I'm breathing, I just had to inhale my breakfast and drink some coffee. So I want to thank Winder Outdoor Equipment for showing up early to my house and us getting the lawnmower and tiller and stuff uh, put into their trailer this morning. I mean, look, if that don't wake you up, nothing will. So um, let's see here. Want to bring in the crew and just get all these notifications out of my way here. Folks, just want to say thank y'all for bearing with us today. It's our post draft review. We're going to talk about the Falcons draft class as well as something that happened.
Mm.
We nailed the draft, but we also nailed some stupid shit. So we'll talk about it. Love the Undertaker. Must love Mark Calloway. Amen. All right, so we'll talk about it. Want to just throw it around the horn here style. Let's go over. Want to introduce everyone. The man over here is Mr. Ron Thomas. Want to say what's up, Ron? How you doing? And what's good? How you feeling?
I feel good, but I'm about to go
There you go.
in.
I know. I know. I know. I told you you could. All right. Let's also welcome in Miss Carrie. Welcome on in, Carrie.
Good morning, guys. Happy
Good
to be
morning.
here.
Morning. And of course, folks, this man is a revolutionary. He's a visionary. This man needs no introduction, but he gets one because the wise man has told me I must give him one. He is Ladarius freaking Brown. How you doing, Ladarius?
Good morning, everyone. Hoping all is well with everybody.
By the way, I've really liked calling you that over the tribal chief thing. I got to go here. I think that really suits you a lot better. Just saying. Especially with the peacock jacket. That thing was sick. That was beautiful. All right. So, look, obvious. This is how we're going to break it down. Ladarius, you got fact or fiction ready?
I hope he does because we didn't get to do it last week, so I'm really looking forward to it. So
No, I'm just putting the finishing polishing touches on it.
yes, awesome.
But
Okay.
yeah, so I'm just putting the finishing. But continue. Don't worry. I'm here, but I'm not here.
Okay. I was just going to go ahead and say, go ahead and shoot because I was going to let
No,
you.
no,
I was going to
no,
let you
no,
open the
no,
show.
no. I'm not opening. No, I'm not great at opening the act. Middle,
Save
middle,
the best for last. The main event.
middle act the best. Like I just show up, go to catering, and then I eat a little, then I head out, put in the show.
No, you don't do the Irish goodbyes though, where you just walk out and no one knows. Hey, where did little Darius go?
Yeah, if that's the case, then I'm a lot Irishman, I think. No, the point. But
Look,
but no, but you.
I
But
heard
go ahead and
someone
continue.
say that. So, all right,
Yeah.
we have a lot of things to discuss. We could discuss the draft. We could discuss the coverage by somebody who's not really great at picking talent, who was front and center saying how someone should be drafted. We could go in about a lot of different areas. All right. We can even talk about the undrafted rookies. We can even venture in basketball because we will be talking about this. When do you tell your daddy to not get on the court and step up in front of a big, tall Greek freak named Giannis? Because I'm going to go here. If that check don't clear, you as the son have to take care of that. So we'll talk about all that. So let's just go around the horn style. What's the big story in your mind? And we'll go into our debates, but we'll start with Ron. Ron, what's like the top thing that's kind of on your mind today?
a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything the man that so-called call the draft every year, but he get 30% right and get 80% wrong. Do y'all know who I'm talking about?
Is that Helmet Head?
Yeah. And what really pissed me off, because he keep doing this, they keep on bringing him back, and he's 30% right and 80% wrong every year. He keep this job. Instead of somebody need to tell him, you know what, we need to fire that dude. But they won't do that. They won't do that. They won't fire that man. And excuse me. They keep on saying he's the guru of draft. Well, last time I checked, if you're a guru, that means you really good, but he 30% right and 80% wrong. All right, every time he opened his mouth talking about the draft.
Ron, you gotta leave Louis Riddick alone, man. oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about someone else.
Man, you talk about this, see that?
I know, brother. You know I'm having fun with you.
This dude, I cannot stand this dude. He always do a mock draft every year.
He does like about, I mean, he does like what, maybe 5, 6, maybe 10, I think.
Right.
He goes throughout the year, and you see where people fluctuate.
Right.
But yeah, go ahead.
And he don't get it right. 80% wrong all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for example, they said Jalen Walker was going to go to Carolina.
Yeah.
Well, he said that, but Jalen Walker fell to the Atlanta Falcons. So is that right or wrong?
I mean, it's wrong because, you know, we know what happened.
Right.
But yeah, we know what happened. It's just more of the question of, look, we're going to discuss that because we'll talk about Mel Kiper. I think the NFL or the NFL Network coverage was so much better than ESPN's coverage. I will say that. If anyone got to listen to the NFL, Rich Eisen, the guys, I thought did a fabulous job.
Yeah.
They gave a lot of respect over to Cam Ward. We'll talk about that, how he's like the forgotten first round pick overall. But yeah, so that's Ron's cook up. He's, you know, thinking about, you know, that's what's on his mind. Carrie, what about you?
I mean, there's a lot on my mind, to be honest, but the main thing on my mind is Terry Fontenot absolutely cooked. You know those memes, let Terry cook? Yeah, he absolutely cooked in this draft. We have, I would argue, 4 starters out of our 5 picks. And to be honest, even our undrafted free agents, he killed it with those pickups as well. I could see probably 2 of them making the roster, so maybe more. But
yeah,
I know we're going to talk about the draft, but that's the forefront of my mind is like, wow, we absolutely killed the draft. Like we not only, you know, hit on needs and filled positions of need, but we also got best players available, day 1 starters. I mean, yeah, I'm very happy with the draft, but unfortunately the other thing on my mind is it's being overshadowed by this whole prank call. So that's the other thing on my mind, to be honest.
Okay. That's weird. Prank call. Don't recall anything like that. Anyway, but yeah, we'll talk about Prankgate. You know, the most evilest thing in all of the line. You know, apparently worse than murder. But Ladarius Brown, are you there, sir?
Think so.
Okay, cool. What's on your mind? What's kind of something that you can't wait to talk about today?
I have stuff, but it's not pertinent stuff. You know, it's I'll talk about the whole like Shadur, at a later time. But it's one of the bigger things that I have. It's not about the Falcons Shadur thing, but it's just like how I feel about him as a prospect.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into it. I am going to offer one more time. Would you like to go ahead and do fact or fiction first, Ladarius, or we can do the debate? It's up to you.
No, go ahead. The debate supersedes my fact or fiction stuff.
No. I am opening the door. I want it to be
And
flow
I'm
free.
opening, and I'm saying, have a nice day, and we could.
And closing it. No.
Hold on. He's opening, going, thank you, but I'm going to enjoy these Girl Scout cookies, and I'll leave you be.
Wait, what? Girl Scout cookies. Hold on.
Look, man, Girl Scout
Ladarius
cookies,
has Girl
I love
Scout
those things.
Ladarius,
got
you
a
have
box
some
of
Girl
Thin
Scout
Mints, it's on.
cookies?
What? I love Thin Mints.
Well, let's get the show back on the track here.
Okay, let's talk about it. All right, the Falcons, we know about the first round, but then they went to the third round. They moved up to get Notre Dame's, I think, is it Benjamin Watson? Or
Xavier
Benjamin
Watts.
Xavier Watts.
Xavier Watson. For some reason, I know there was another kid named Benjamin in Notre Dame, and for some reason, I was mixing their names up. And I loved Watts, but he was always available in the second, but never in the third. So I was stunned to see him in the third round. And I was stunned for us to get him. Really, Billy Bowman, I was surprised with. And then in the seventh round, it was like, okay, whoever's there, go for it. So overall, the draft, what did you think of Terry's motive, whatever you want to say? But what did you think about the Falcons draft class? I know a lot of people have been controversial about some people don't like Pierce, the trade up for Pierce. Some people don't like the trade up for Watts. But this is your personal, what did you think the Falcons did, and is your degree of either pleased, not pleased, and feel free to speak your mind on it. Ron, speak.
I love it.
Look at that face. I think that's the biggest time I've seen him smile this big.
I love it. I finally got somebody from Georgia in the first round. Finally. And James Pierce Jr. So we've been having a hard time getting to the quarterback. We were ranked, I think, 28th. Get into the quarterback in the past 5 years. So Terry Fontenot was like, okay, I cannot get the pass rusher from Washington Commodores. Okay, I cannot get the dude from Minnesota went to the Texas. Oh, y'all want pass rusher? Here you go. I got 2 of the top dogs. How about that?
Yeah.
I love it. About damn time.
All right. So I'm going to pass that question now on to Carrie. What do you think? What was your I know you kind of let it off with your take, but if you want to go in, please do. Go for it.
And just what I thought of the picks overall, or
Well, what do you think? And, however you want to take the question. If you want to go a little deeper, you can. You know how, we flow.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I absolutely, like I said, I loved it. I think Terry literally hit the ball out of the park. I mean, the past drafts, there's always that one pick, maybe 2, 3 that you're like, wait, what? Why did we pick this guy over this guy? This time I did not get that at all. I didn't get that feeling. I feel like he absolutely cooked. Like he went defense times 4, right? And
Yeah.
took best player available, took need, and we just got great value. Like you said, Xavier Watts, a lot of people thought he would be like a earlier round talent. I mean, we even got Kobe Bryant as an undrafted free agent. I really didn't realize he was going to go undrafted. That was very surprising for me. I just feel like he absolutely killed it. Honestly, I'm very happy. I'm not upset with the trade up. Initially, when I first saw, my immediate reaction when I saw that we traded up, I was like, oh wow, we're all in, which I believe that's how Terry should be, right? With his job on the line, he doesn't have an extension. I get it. Like you need to fix this defense, go all in,
Mhm.
right? Because to be frank, like it either James Pierce Jr. hits, and if he doesn't, it won't matter because next year if we don't make the playoffs, if we don't make a good little run in the postseason, it won't matter to Terry because he won't be here. So he doesn't care about next year's first round pick, in my opinion. Will either be good enough or he won't be here to find out. So for me, initially though, I was like, wow, that's pretty rich, a first round pick, for next year. Initial reaction was like, okay, that, Rams won the trade. But then as I really started thinking about it, it grew on me, minutes later, I was really thinking, you know what? We essentially took our first rounder for this year and our first rounder for next year. It's
Yeah.
almost like we took a loan out, like basically we need to be good. We need to get to the quarterback. We need some pass rushers, some guys that can, get to the quarterback on defense. And we haven't really had that. Like Ron said, one of the worst in the league in sacks last year. I think we finished second to last. So yeah, I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? This fan base needs wins. This front office needs wins. So whatever it takes at this point, I feel like it grew on me, and then I understood why he did it. Because, like I said, if we don't win, he's not going to be here anyway next season. So
Yeah.
I'm happy with it because we really got two, arguably top 10 players at 15 and what was it 26 that we took Pierce.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I mean, great value again. So yeah, I'm not complaining. I think it was great. I understand where some people might be like outside of Falcons fans. I understand why some people are like, oh yeah, that was like a stupid trade, only because from their point of view, the Falcons have been picking top 10, top 15, right? Like the last how many years? So they
Yeah.
just assume that's going to be the same-ish different year, right? So they think next year we're probably going to be picking top 10, and instead of picking top 10, we gave it away. So I understand their point of view, but I argue that I hope and I think that they are wrong.
Yeah. All right. Ladarius, what say you about the Falcons draft?
Sorry about that. You're gonna sip of water. I just echo what everybody else said. It was a great draft. It was a draft that addressed the immediate needs, which had to be done. I think Carrie and I think alluded to, like this is an all-in draft. This was an all-in situation, and this draft reflected that. Especially, obviously with Walker and then with Pierce, Xavier Watt. Yeah, you're getting guys that could start day one, and I think that was the ultimate goal going into the draft: is drafting guys who can start immediately, because you can't afford to put these guys on the bench. You guys can't you can't afford doing that. And so that's one of the things that I took away with. And then, looking at the undrafted free agent, there was a guy that I liked that we picked up. It was Nick Nash, the receiver out of San Jose State, excuse me.
Yeah.
He could be a guy that, obviously could be like a special teams guy, but he's a guy, I believe he led the nation in receptions and yards. I think he was our top 5 at least.
Mm-hmm.
He feels like a guy he could kind of fit into the slot position. Could be kind of like I'm not saying he's going to be that type of guy, but he could be like a Ray McLeod type of guy. He could be a guy that could see. I'm not saying see immediate snaps, but he could kind of make an impact. And I think, and then Kerry alluded to Kobe Bryant, the corner, and then we also got picked up another offensive lineman as an undrafted free agent. And I also like the pick that we made with the kid from Wisconsin as well in the 7th round.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about absolute value. So I personally walk away with this being a more confident team and more confidence based on how we drafted, because I think things were addressed, and it goes to show you, like, I'm not big on draft grades because people grade. I've seen A grades, I've seen C grades, and I'm like, you got to focus on the need.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't understand the team needs, then you can't really address it. But like me personally, I think for the fan base, it's a big win because we hit a home run getting what we needed, and should be more confident specifically about our defense moving forward.
Can't argue that, man. You hit it right on the nail. I mean, heck, I don't even need to worry about speaking on this one, but I will say this as a fan. Hold on, I need to check the comments. My bad, people. Got it. All right, be right back. Okay, y'all are good. Go ahead, Ron, and then, or what were you gonna say, Ron?
I'll be right back.
All right, what is it? This is the Morning Madness crew. This is Mr. Someone. We basically talk Falcons football. We discuss other sports too, because if it catches our eye and we want to talk about it. This is where we do debates, we do fact friction, we have a good time here. So just pull up a chair and enjoy, my friend. So, all right, now as I do that commercial, my thought of the Falcon draft, I was pleasantly happy. I mean, I was pleasantly pleased. It was like, it started with the first pick because, look, say what you want about the Falcons. And I really wanted to know what would they do, because I did read a lot of stuff where they really like James Pierce. And in my head, I'm going, I would love him, but I would like work on, maybe see if he falls to the second, maybe. I don't know. Because what if Jalen's there? Well, here we go. We had that moment. And they picked Jalen. And I was stunned. But yet I wasn't, because what has Terry always said? The best available. Or the best, And this guy was the best. And look, say what you want about Georgia. But the thing is this. You get a tax when you're in Georgia if you play for Georgia, because you got he knows film, he knows how to prepare for a football game. You've already got that credit because you came from Georgia. All right. A lot of players would have that, like coming from Alabama and stuff. When you come from a coach that is disciplined and talks about, coaching people up, they know what they're getting. So they're not getting someone, more question marks and answers. Okay. And I got to go here. The trade up. Yeah, you traded up a first round. Was it a bit expensive? It may have, but my thing is, did you want the guy? Obviously you did. And here's the deal. It's an area of need. We needed a pass rush. Here's what I'm going to say. If this works out, we're in the playoffs. If this works out, the draft pick ain't going to hurt us. It'll be a later pick, because this is a player that can really, really turn something if he puts the work in. That's how I'm going to say it. I like James Pierce. When I did my mock drafts and I traded down, I would always have in mind to be getting him in the later rounds, or later in the first. I usually would get him by 26, which is funny. That's where we did with the Rams. But I really am excited about this. I think every player, even the 7th round pick, you could say I could see them playing. That's huge. And that's how I see it. I really do. I really like this. I thought Terry, did he have to trade some assets? Yeah, but you know what? Like Harry said, if he doesn't hit, he's out. So, and I'm trying to think, should I ask this in a question form, or, yeah, you know what? I will. I'll save this comment for a question, and we'll go from there. Let's talk about that undrafted free agency, or the undrafted free agents. Kobe Bryant and Nick Nash. I was stunned to see that those guys were with us. Not stunned that we signed them. I was stunned that they didn't get drafted. Like I said, all in all, when I think of the draft process, I think of the undrafted free agency part of it. Man, Terry really did do a good job. And is everyone back? I just want to make sure. I think Ron may not be, but we can always go back to Ron. So, Carrie, hold on, make sure I got everybody here. All right, cool. Carrie's here. Ladarius, you there?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All I mean, if I'm talking to a different Ladarius, just tell me so. So here we go. But this is kind of a question we're just throwing in there. This draft, I don't see it as having more pressure on the draft class. I see it as the ones that are already on the field. You better step up or step aside. Is that how you feel, or why? Because honestly, this is a lot of talent coming. Even if it is, let's just say we know it's just 4 guys, and we'll add Kobe because I'm stunned that he didn't go drafted at all. But what do y'all think about this? What do you think? And then we'll go to me. So we'll start with Kerry since Ron's not there.
In regards to Kobe Bryant,
In regards to just the starters, because like the defense that we have now, do you feel like now, if anything, this is more of a wake-up call because now we have guys that are coming out or that got drafted that literally could take a job?
Oh, 100%. I love that in camp this off season, there's going to be a lot of competition. I love it. I feel like that's what this team needs. I feel like we haven't had competition on defense in a long time, so I'm looking forward to that.
All right. Ladarius, what about you? How do you feel about that?
I feel good, and like to Kerry's point with the competition, like we signed 2 corners in the undrafted free agent market, and I expected to be some competition there in the secondary specifically. It's going to be probably more so on the defensive side. I kind of feel I think offense things are kind of set. You're just looking for maybe depth, and maybe or for that situation. But I kind of feel that I think the secondary is going to be something to watch entering OTAs and training camp to see specifically that secondary and see how they kind of move forward with that.
All right. I got to tell you, if I'm Troy Anderson, if I am trying to think of all the names here that I actually had thought it in my head while I was watching all the draft coverage, but if I'm Troy Anderson and if I'm Ebiketie, Malone, that's been here for a while, and even the secondary guys, I'm looking at this going, oh, I better bring it. Because if I don't, these guys are coming. I'm telling you, watch it. When Jalen Walker comes in if they play him at linebacker, I'm not as nervous as I am when we go against tight ends. Because this guy will be able to. I feel very comfortable with the defense in his hands. I really do. If you watch some of the Georgia games, he was calling a lot of shifts and a lot of formations out. So he's very active. He's very knowledgeable. He works very well with coaches. So I can't wait to see this guy play. I dare say, and this, if you want to debate it, we can. Where I remember Matt getting drafted, or I remember Michael Vick getting drafted. I remember when Matt got drafted, and I remember Julio. I think Jalen Walker will be that kind of era of the draft class, as in you'll remember when Jalen got picked, because this is going to be the face of our defense. That's just me. Now, if y'all want to say that, it's up to you. But like I said, that's me. Okay, let's discuss it. So, Ron's back.
I'm sorry about that.
You good? No, you good? Because I was about to move on. But what? This is a question I just asked, so now I can bring it to you. What do you think about about this draft class? If you're other players, do you feel like is this finally the draft class you could go? These guys could take their jobs.
Yes.
And how do you feel about that? Go for it.
Troy Anderson, bye. Deuces, you more at Grady Hospital than on the field. Bye. We should be able to get a loaf of bread for Troy Anderson. But this draft class to take anybody's job just by being drafted. They don't even got to step on the field yet.
Right.
And I love it because competition brings out the best in everybody. It should. If you don't want to compete, then you're at the wrong place.
Oh no, I'm with you. All right, let's talk about let's talk about the coverage. We had ESPN covering this. We had the NFL Network. I chose the NFL Network. I don't know what y'all watched, but man, a lot of people did watch ESPN. Shador was a big rating draw because he wasn't going, or he was sliding, slid all the way to the 5th round. All right. And yeah, there was a whole lot of reasons why. Whole lot of reasons, whatever. So we're not going to discuss the prank gate just yet, but we're going to discuss the slide and also the Mel Kiper in this, because this is why I think a lot of people got aggravated with it. But what did y'all think? And he ends up going to Cleveland, but man, Cleveland's draft is you kind of look at it and you're going, if there was ever a draft pick that the owner demanded you to pick somebody, I think we saw it here. That's my impression, but y'all tell me what y'all thought. Ron, go ahead and let's talk about it.
I think this Cleveland MO, they always do this. Remember, a while back, a couple of years ago, they drafted Johnny Manziel.
Yep.
He brought the same. He brought the same attention to the Cleveland Browns, in my opinion. I cannot speak for everybody else. He brought that cocky attitude, and he thought he was the shit. Did he work out in Cleveland? Hell no. I say this. For the past 50 years, how many quarterbacks Cleveland had?
I think they said since the new what was it? Give me a minute. I think they said since Cleveland came back after the Browns went to become the Baltimore, that they what was it? 44 quarterbacks, I want to say.
Right.
I may be wrong, but
it don't work out for Cleveland. They just have a hard time drafting a quarterback, talent wise. And if they do draft a quarterback, well, they did have a long time ago, and he retired now. Back in the day, they have a hard time putting players around that quarterback to make he look better.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So let's see. Carrie, what do you think? Or, and everything about all the Shador Mania, the ESPN, or coverage. I don't know what coverage you watch more of. I'm just, that's why I'm opening up to this. Hello?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sorry. No, for me, I think he honestly hurt himself, like with not wanting to work out or not wanting to speak to all teams. I think a lot of teams didn't want to touch him for that reason. Unfortunately, but I did see he is the best-selling jersey in this draft class, not just for the Browns, but for the whole league. Yeah, and I saw he's already been practicing. He's already visiting kids at local schools in Cleveland. Like, I don't know. It's hard not to think that it's his job to lose. I know it's definitely gonna be competition because they have like 5 quarterbacks right now, which is crazy, but
Yeah.
I do think he has a chance to start for them.
All right. Well, Darius, what say you, man?
Look, I'm just gonna be brief. I'm not gonna take too much time here. But I could go, but I'm not gonna. After the wrestling podcast, I don't want to be taking too much time.
No, you speak whatever you want, bro.
No.
I know. I'm
sir.
curious your thoughts
No,
on the whole situation.
I'm all about timing. All about timing.
All filtered. No. This is we don't time here now. Go for it.
Nope, there's a timer I see
Yeah.
that says live. So the time is up. Oh yeah. There
I'm
you
not. I don't run by that. You are my homie. I'm letting you speak.
go.
Let's go.
Listen,
Becky Trotter says speak.
listen. I'm no Ron. Like Ron, I think Ron sets the standard here for,
Right, man.
I'm giving a compliment. You see, this is why I don't say anything on the show. This is why I stay quiet.
Oh
Well,
no.
I was giving a compliment to Ron, saying, for being, vocal
Right.
and more pet. Anyway, I'll just be quick because, oh boy,
I'm curious your thoughts. I honestly want to know what you think of the whole
I
situation.
have a better shot going to a creek without a paddle here. Now,
Oh god.
I'll take my chances. No, I think the biggest thing for me is that I understand that he didn't do any favors. I understand that. Don't get me wrong, but I don't feel we're punishing. We're punishing its essence. Shador got punished for. I think a lot of people have feelings about his father, and from what I saw at Colorado, if you compare the number, if we're like someone put up the worst stat thing I've ever seen. Well, Jackson Dart had 26 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. Shador had 37 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. And people can argue, oh, the SEC, no, we're not doing that. What I'm simply saying is how can I phrase this? I think we're having. I think the hype. I'm not gonna go. I'm not like Mel Kiper. I'm not gonna go that route. But I'm gonna go like this. I don't understand the difference between what essentially people feel like. Oh well, Deion positioning his children to positioning Shador to go to a team. Well, didn't Archie Minnick not do that for Eli?
Mm-hmm.
Like he literally did that. And I don't understand why people are up in arms about it, because I'm like, well, wait a minute, we're talking about positioning, and I guess that really gets to me to a certain extent. And how can I best phrase it? What upsets me is, and what's disappointing is, I'm not defending Shadur's actions. Like, let's be clear. Like, should he have gone to the yes, he should have did those things. But for him to fall the way that he did is egregious. It's egregious. You're telling me, you're going to tell me, and then when I read you the names of the quarterback, like Jackson Dart went over Shador, Tyler Shug from Louisville, went over, and I'm like, who's that guy? Exactly. Dylan Gabriel. The guy who got the cheeks clapped, okay, in the national championship game. That guy got drafted by Cleveland ahead of Shador. So people say, oh, it's not personal. Yes, it is. If you don't like Deion, fine, but don't take it out on the kid. That's what I feel, in my personal opinion. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I can always stand to be corrected. But this is what upsets me, is when Shador, yes, is there. I think this is a humbling moment for him. I really do. But the fact of these certain quarterbacks taking over Shador, and then people out here just saying, oh, well, Shador and his attitude. Listen, I'm not going to go down that route because I respect the show, but I'll say it I'm going to just say it like this. We don't have this conversation about other certain types of quarterbacks. I'm going to leave it like that. Why is it that?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were good.
But why is it with Shador? Oh, the back, like, if you don't like his attitude, fine. And then for people to say, oh, well, they didn't say anything about his talent, but his attitude. Yeah, that's the point, Sterling. It's just that's the here's the thing. You're telling me his attitude drops you to the 5th round? Like that's the issue I have. If there were character issues, yes, but his attitude, like that's not a reason. And a lot of people, a lot of these draft experts had Shedeur as a top 3 quarterback prospect. And listen, I'm not disagreeing with Sterling is saying. All I'm saying is that he has an attitude. Well, a lot of these dudes can hit in their attitudes, but it didn't drop him to the 5th round. Like, it's upsetting. And the reason why his jerseys are selling, because you know why? Because people support Shedeur, and they're like, they can. To me, I don't know how you justify it. And like, yes, they drafted Dylan Gabriel and then Shedeur. That's a soap opera in itself. But
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
It
Gabriel in the 3rd, Shedeur in the 5th.
I was very surprised by that. I was like, you're really doing this? I didn't think you would. I mean, I get if you were going to draft. My thought was, if you're going to draft Shedeur, you go ahead and do it.
well, yeah.
I'm not. Look, I'm not a Shedeur
No,
guy.
Darius makes a great point, honestly.
I
I was
I
shocked.
I thought Shedeur would go to the Saints or
At
the
9.
Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Sterling is backing up what I'm saying. That he was what you want confidence in a quarterback. How attitude should not drop you to the 5th round.
Okay.
Right. And to your point, Ladarius, when the Giants didn't initially take him, but then I think they traded up, and I think it was day 2, I believe. I was like, okay, yeah, they're taking him now. No, they just still didn't take him. I was like, what are we doing
Yeah,
here?
they took
Like,
Jackson
it's
Dart.
crazy. I can
Yeah.
understand maybe him falling a little bit,
Yeah.
out of the
But-
top 10, but when he kept falling and falling, I'm like, this is nuts. Is he gonna go undrafted? Like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But
Okay, go ahead, Ron.
but I know this: the Giants don't never draft a black quarterback.
See, I if I can interject, if you don't mind, if I can interject.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I'm not going to say race is the whole issue. I think listen, I know people are Giants fans. I'm not going to trust an organization who gave a whole bunch of money to Daniel Jones and drafting him, and Daniel Jones is a backup in Minnesota.
Thank you.
I'm not
Well,
going
no,
to.
you would-
Brian Daboll had the nerve to sit up here. Oh, Shedeur had a listen, pal. Y'all took Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones is somewhere else making money as a backup. And by the way, you paid him over some guy named what's his name? Saquon Barkley. So I'm not taking stock in what the New York Football Giants got to say about the quarterback position. I hope Jackson Dart works out great. I really do. I don't want to see kids fail because they exactly. So I'm not going to listen to a coach who's going to sit there and tell, oh, Shedeur had no. You're upset, and this is the problem. We confuse cocky with confidence a lot.
So
Like I
true.
say, we
So
don't have that.
true.
Listen, all I'm saying is we don't have that issue when it comes to certain types of quarterbacks.
So true.
Like,
Darius, and to your point, like about letting Saquon leave, isn't that the same video that went viral of the son saying like, "Oh, I forgot who it was that he wanted him to
Jalen
draft," and yeah,
Daniels.
and he didn't listen, right? And then they I'm like, man, let the kid run.
right,
No,
let the kid, the kid
Right.
telling you, hey man, you need to take, bro. The kid told you to take Jaden Daniel. I don't know. Yeah, that's your problem. That's why you should have a job. The kid knows. Listen, when other people come do your job, it makes you expendable. All right. And I took up too much time. I'm gonna just leave it like this. When it comes to Shedeur, like Sterling echoes what I've been saying. You want a guy that's confident. Like Deion Sanders admitted to his own daddy admitted they didn't do enough to protect his son. Shedeur took some hits, but yet when he was able to step in that pocket, he made some throws. And he didn't have an offensive line. And then people have the nerve to throw up Jackson Dart stats and tell me that's the better option. And then you're telling me it's the attitude, but yet he's just a confident kid. Yeah, they said this. Yeah, Baker having, yeah. This is the listen. All listen. All this is adding to my point. They said about certain types of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
When they said about another certain type of quarterbacks, oh, that's confidence. That kid's going to be great. They say about another certain quarterback, it's cocky. It's disrespectful. Why? Why is it disrespectful? Like, I'm not the one to go there, but we can go there because listen, Sterling just made the point.
Right.
Baker Mayfield coming out of Oklahoma. This was the same guy that planted the flag. You know, planted the flag. I forgot where it was at, Kansas or somewhere.
It was Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yeah. When he was at Oklahoma, I forgot what he planted the flag. But I forgot he did it on somebody else's field. He might have did it on their. I can't think of the field.
Texas or something.
Yeah, I could remember the name of the field.
What's up, Ryan?
But yet, what's up, Brian? What's up, Ryan? Here's the problem. But yet, he still went number one overall. And having these same conversations. But yet, like I say, when we talk about certain types of quarterbacks, like why in the world did Lamar Jackson fall late into the first round? Why? Because we label people. We label quarterbacks. We give them the wrong type of label.
To your point, Ladarius, I saw like a video of Shador where he was saying like, you know, I didn't think he said anything wrong at all, but he was basically saying like, you know, if you want to change your franchise and you want like, you know, differences or what have you. I don't remember the exact quote, but
yeah,
just basically don't take me unless you want like a change or you want, you know.
All right.
And people are framing that to be the wrong way. Like he's gonna come in.
Actually, football players didn't like it.
Uh,
Football players that played with
I don't
Deion.
think he made it in a bad way.
Hold on.
I know, but
I'll let everyone talk. I gotta now say this.
okay. I was going to say something else, but go ahead. This is why.
yeah, go ahead. Okay.
No, this is why I stay quiet on the show. So I'll be
All
quiet.
right, me too. Bye.
I mean, I've been listening. I've been listening. But this is where we just have to go. He ran his mouth. His daddy ran his mouth. And then here's the thing.
All right.
In the time you had to step up in the interviews and show, hey, I can do, you know, whatever. The workouts. Go do the workouts. Do the stuff like everyone else has. He didn't do. Or he sandbagged. Or whatever. My thing is this. When I saw Shador play in college, I was like, okay, he's not that good to me. When I watch him play, the numbers, everything, I just looked and just said, you were 4-8 in Colorado. You had a good year last year, but not good enough to get in the playoffs. You couldn't win your bowl game. And your dad retires your jersey number? What kind of mess is that? And Deion even said, my son's going to be top 5 pick. My son's going to be top 5 pick. My son, if we go to Cleveland, well, I'm going to pull an Archie Manning. Where's your son playing now?
Cleveland.
But now he has to fight. Now, here's the thing. With all this said, he got drafted. Now, let's see how much he loves football. Let's see. Will he beat Dillon Gabriel? I think he should beat Dillon Gabriel. I think he was better than Dillon Gabriel. Okay? Kenny Pickens? He should beat Kenny Pickens. Kenny Pickens ain't done nothing since he got drafted. Am I wrong?
You're right.
Is anybody out there going, damn, we missed out on the Kenny Pickens train? And Joe Flacco, a good professional, but let's be honest, this man ain't going to play the whole year. I honestly think he'll be a placeholder. I really do. He'll just play. If, let's say, someone's younger and better, they'll move, you know, they'll switch. It's not like Joe's going to go, he's not going to pull a Kirk Cousins. How about that? All right. So, what everyone's saying, if Shador is this good, he'll rise above all this and earn the quarterback spot. Okay? We've seen quarterbacks in the late rounds make that. They've done it. It's not that hard. Okay? You want to go into, all I know is the NFL GMs were not happy with the way he sandbagged interviews, whatever. All I know is they decided to say no to him and no to Mel Kiper because that man was capping so hard for Shedeur. And let me tell you something. Sometimes you need to look around the boat. If you see Mel Kiper on your boat, get in the water and start swimming because that man's sinking no matter what. So, and just to get far away from that man, okay? Morning, Christy. How you doing? So look, I felt like me personally, if I was running the draft, I thought Shedeur should have gone second, third round. He didn't. I was stunned. I was also stunned because I'm going, great, now we got day 3 and we got to hear about this. And then he went another round. But it happened. So my thought is, okay, what are you going to do about it? You can't cry about it. You can't kick your legs, and people are losing their minds. People yelling conclusion. Look, sometimes the interview process is just as important as what you do to get there. You ticked off the GMs. You ticked off the decision makers. Now, you had one owner that to do it, and I think it's more for the publicity because, let's be honest, if Jimmy Haslam's drafting you, we already know about his decision-making. Deshaun Watson, may I say? You know, we talked about, Manziel. If anyone's got a fight on their hands, it's Shedeur, but now let's see what he can do. I think he can win the quarterback job. That's the crazy part. If he puts the work in. So we'll see. And I'm still confused about the Browns draft, by the way, because I thought they were going to get Travis Hunter, and that surprised me. Their move down to 5. So that's just another thing. All right. So I just had to get my say on that one. I'm sorry, guys. So let's see. Where are we at? Everyone there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's just discuss let's talk about the guy that was forgotten. Cam Ward. Mel Kiper decided during Cam Ward's introduction, draft announcement, and basically take it all over for Shedeur. Now, these are some of, again, the problems if you have one person, but my problem, I'm not even going to bring Shedeur on it as in he's the reason, but I'm going to go here. When an analyst does that, someone needs to pull the plug. Someone needs to pull that man's mic because it's about that kid who got picked first. And I was hearing a lot of people getting on my case because I said I was mad how ESPN treated Cam Ward when he was announced as the first pick. And they were still talking. And they were like, well, Shedeur's the bigger story. Bigger than the number 1 pick of this draft? Who, the story of the kid, he was a 0-star, earned his way, worked his way to being a top pick. Did we forget that? Or am I tripping? So, I mean, that it's my question, but what do y'all think? I mean, what was your thought about that? Because I felt for Cam, but,
I like Cam Ward. I like the pause he brought to the game. I like his fight mentality he brought to the game. I like everything about that kid. Now, this is the problem I got.
Mm-hmm.
The team he went to, the head coaches, that can't. I mean, yes, they did it with Joe Burrows, but now they in Tennessee. Can they do it with Cam Ward? You see what I'm saying? Can they really show Cam Ward how to win, how to succeed, how to act like you is in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
can they prepare the man to the next level? That's my problem. And right now, I don't really trust them.
Yeah.
Yes, they did it with Joe Burrow, but now they by themselves. So can they really take another step forward with Cam Ward? You got your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Now, can we see more out of them with Tennessee to prepare the man to succeed in the NFL? That's what I got.
All right. Carrie, what do you think?
I really like Cam Ward, honestly. I like his story. I like him as a person. I hope he does really good in Tennessee. I think he has some weapons to work with over there. So, yeah, I hope he succeeds. I really like him. I saw the video where he was wearing like old school headphones, like wired AirPods, and everybody's like, "How come he's still wearing wired headphones? Like he doesn't have AirPods? Like you don't see people wearing wired headphones that much these days." But apparently, his grandma, who passed away, that he was close with, gifted those to him years back, and he just still uses them to this day. And I'm a sentimental person, so I really appreciated that.
Damn. Now you told me that. That makes it almost feels like I'm being called out because I wear wired headphones too, and I'm
Me
just
too.
going, man. Now I kind of go, damn. You just that hit my heart. So
Yeah, because a lot of people were like, when the video came out where he was arriving to Tennessee off the private jet, they're like, get this guy some new AirPods. Like, why is he still using, wired headphones connected to his phone? I guess you just don't see it that often. And yeah, it came out. I guess they asked him and he said, yeah, my grandmother gifted these to me. And then I'm over here thinking, like, I hope they don't ever die. Like, I hope they work forever.
man, I ain't playing, man. That touched me. Damn. That yeah. Ah, blessing of a grandmother, I tell you. I mean, whatever. Hey, even if they die, guess what? He can hold on to them and know that that's from his grandmother, and he can still hold on to them. That's beautiful. That's God. Damn, I'm leaking. God. Yeah. What say you, Ladarius?
Oh yeah. Well, I had made a joke in the private chat, but that's why I don't.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I was
No,
still
no.
trying.
Like I said, after the, I promised to limit myself because when I gave Ron the compliment and then it went, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I just limit myself to the segments and no.
But Darius, I'm sorry. I was trying to wipe the tears out of my eyes, man. I was thinking about my family.
No, yeah, we can move on. We can move on.
No, you good. You good. No.
No.
About
We
Cam
can
Ward,
move
though.
No, we can move on. I'm good. I'll save my thoughts. I'm good. We can move on.
All right. Well, either way, that's a beautiful story about Cam Ward, and look, I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for everyone that got drafted because this is a beautiful day. Everyone's there. Your friends, your family, your associates. So the main thing is you want to take the opportunity and do everything possible to be the best. Now, we're going to get into it, but before we do, I just think this will motivate. This moment will motivate, and I do too, Christy. If he's one of those that can pull himself up, yeah. And by the way, Christy says good morning to you, Miss
Oh,
Carrie.
good morning, Christy. Good morning, Miss Pam. Real quick before we change the subject, I just saw like a push notification I got on my phone.
Yeah.
It's in regards to the Shador thing. So can I
Yeah. Shoot.
add something? It just literally came through. It says Raiders did not want quarterback drama. NFL executives believe that they passed on Shador because they wanted to avoid a Cousins Penix situation. Oh wow.
Wow. Well,
Well, why are we being thrown into this?
you know what? That leads us
Jeez.
perfectly to what we did. Oh God, that is funny. Hold on. Scratch Kirk Cousins off the Raiders list.
Right? Like, oh wow. I was like, why the Falcons? Why are you bringing us up? But geez, I mean, I just don't get how that's drama, but I
I
don't
mean,
think every
to be fair,
yeah.
it was drama because look what happened. Okay, look what happened. We end up, you see what happened to us with. We'll discuss it. Kirk
What
Cousins
do you
has kind of,
mean? Oh, okay. I'm talking
yeah,
about with
Kirk
Geno
Cousins has kind of
Smith.
made us
I'm
a meme.
like, he's 34 years old. He'll be 35 years old this season. Like to me,
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe I see it a different perspective, but I just don't understand how like these NFL quarterbacks who they're not Matt Ryans of a franchise, right? They haven't been with the franchise 14 years and you just arrived and you're 35 years old. Like, do you not think they're going to be planning for the future? Like they have,
is
why can't they draft someone to learn behind you? I don't
is is Gino 35?
well, he's 34. He'll be 35 in October. So he'll
Okay,
be 35 during
yeah,
the season. So it's like I just don't get that point of view. Like, I don't know, maybe that hurts a guy's ego.
or
Maybe I don't see that perspective as a female, but for me, it's like obviously the franchise is always going to put themselves first over the
yeah,
player, right? And like you just arrived. It's not the reason why I bring up Matt Ryan because he's like a staple for our franchise. He was with us 14 years. You just arrived. Like I just think that's wild. Like you don't think that they're gonna plan for the future behind you? I don't know. If there's an opportunity to draft a quarterback of the future, why would you get mad at that? You're getting paid millions and you're already named the starter. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, what? Here's how I answer that. How old's the coach again? Which is, Grandpa. I mean, Carroll, Pete Carroll,
But
and
what sister?
maybe he doesn't want to have someone underneath
Oh,
Gino.
Pete Carroll's in his 70s for sure.
Yeah, and he wants to make sure he has his guy, but that's just my feeling. And that's for me. God, for them to bring us into it, that's kind of. Hold on. First of all, it's the Raiders saying they don't want a Penix and Cousins deal. My thing is with Cousins, you paid him top money to be the guy, and then you draft it. Now, if maybe what they're bringing up is we didn't want to be like, hey, we're not going to tell Gino, and we decided to get a quarterback. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what happened with the Falcons, and that was something that was highly talked about. And as you see with Kurt being Diva Kurt, God, that doesn't sound right, but it kind of fits. But that's kind of where I think that came from. But man, wow. Go ahead, Ron.
I mean, I could see Shador over there after Geno Smith retired because Tom Brady over there. And I thought since Tom Brady helped Shador how to be a quarterback, basically, for so many years, that'd be the perfect place for him, in my opinion. I cannot talk about everybody else. I just go about my opinion. And when Pete Carroll said, "Nah, we don't want Shador over here," well, Geno Smith will not play forever, player.
But
AKA
that
Nick
quarterback.
Taylor.
But I will say this: that quarterback class will be what was it? That quarterback class they're saying is going to be pretty big. That Arch is coming through too.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
Can I also add one more thing I saw too that I forgot to mention is that um Robert Griffin III, I don't know if you respect his opinions or not, but I did see that he came out, I think yesterday, and said that multiple NFL head coaches didn't want to draft Shador out of fear that it wouldn't work out. Like maybe he was no longer be the starter or something, or it just wouldn't be a good fit. And then their job would be on the line because of it, and they'll get replaced by Dion. I never thought of it like that. What are your thoughts?
Actually, that was also going around a lot too.
I had not heard that before.
I don't think Dion will ever leave college.
His
Really?
buyout's not
Okay.
that big, guys.
Oh,
That
and
buyout,
not.
actually, you could buy him out.
I
He made it so.
and the way Dion said it himself, he don't want to come to the pros because some some of the players don't want to listen in the pros like they do in college. This his words, not mine. So with that being said, I understand what he trying to say. I did talk to the college football players like young mans instead of talking to grown mans. You see what I mean? I really talk to the young man's trying to get to the NFL, so they will listen more than the players already in the NFL. My opinion. So
Well, I think college has kind of went backwards now because of the NIL,
right.
and it's also who's going to pay me. Hold on. Pete has to run the team and get players to buy into the system. And then we got Mark Davis still in charge. Brady is the minority owner. Arch has yet to play it down, and we don't know how. I agree with all that, by the way, Ryan. You know that. And Dion wants full control. He knows them grown men won't listen if he says something or does something they don't agree with. Yep, exactly. Look. There was a worry because Shador has had not been coached by anyone but Dion. But now, let's go back to the picture because everyone's asking, not the Undertaker. So, first of all, folks, we're about to discuss the most heinous thing you could ever do. So maybe we need to put a warning, a label to say, please, don't do this at home. But look, murder, killings, abuse, we're not making light of any of that. But if you prank call someone, you should get life imprisonment and an electric chair if you're lucky. Look, billionaires and millionaires cannot be just be violated by these worst prank calls ever. You are hurting their hearts, and people need to die because of it. Jeff Ulbrich may need to be on the chopping block for his son's evil, wicked ways. Now, with that being said, here's how I'm going to say this. It's a freaking prank call. The other thing, and this is from C-Double, NFL, if you want to hear me out, you don't even have to send me money. Here's a free idea to the teams. When you contact said player, video call. We have the technology. Hey, you see me. I'm Arthur Blank. That's Raheem Morris. That's Terry. Look, wave, guys. Hey. We have that communication. We have that ability. Why are we calling people? So, that's one way to stop the prank calls. Because now you can't be like, hey, I'm from the Giants. Well, you don't look like the GM. You don't look like the pot-belly coach that I'm supposed to have. Who are you? So, video call. Just saying. Just use video call. Let's use our technology for good. And by the way, some of these phone calls, I don't understand how they can say they're the NFL because they sound horrible. I felt bad for James Pierce. I was like, Lord, is this man going to... I could barely hear him. He was so soft-spoken. But, so yes. So Jeff Ulbrich, defensive coordinator, the man that deserves to be shot by a firing squad. To some national, people that have no sense of humor. He should lose his job because his son was able to unlock his iPad. Let me tell you something. If I left my phone out and it's locked, my son can unlock it. It ain't that hard. All right. He probably knows his dad. Simple code 5252. Bam. I'm in. or whatever number he was, or my birthday, or his birthday, whatever. So, first of all, I thought the prank call was just stupid, but you know what? It's a prank call. A lot of guys have been prank called. Tyler Warren was prank called. Cooper DeJean was prank called. I know another one was prank. A lot more players have been prank called.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Does it suck? Yes. Does it deserve this attention? No. But again, Falcons nailing the draft, but we do stupid shit. And look at us. We're so happy. We are kicking ass. We look like we know what we're doing. And then we got this stupid shit right behind us. So, this is the only time I'm going to say this on air. So we get drafted 200, or we get fined 250,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look, organization, guess what? That's the stupid tax. Pay it, Arthur. 100 is coming out of Jeff Ulbricht's wallet. Now, Jeff Ulbricht's been a coach for how many years now?
A long time.
Okay, homeboy's got some money. Let's not say he's not out in the corner, with the cup going, oh, arms for the poor, please feed my children, please feed my children. Look at my beard, you can touch it. All right, he's not doing it now. By the way, that beard is luscious, man. I need to know your beard care. That's all I'm saying. We can't win for losing. Look, so here's what I'm going to say. Was the prank bad? Yes. Here's what I want to say. Actually, of all people that I thought had the most class through all this was Shedeur Sanders. He said, no big deal. No one got hurt. It's all good. Move on. With everything that he was going through, and angry as he could have been, for him to do that, I give him a lot more respect than I had before. All right? But my thing is this, folks. Just let the kid get his ass whooped. All right? Let Ulbricht whoop his ass. He doesn't need to film it. Doesn't need to be on pay-per-view. All right? Fans don't need to intrigue. People were thinking this is going to cost us draft picks. People were worried that the Falcons were going to get, people like, I had one person say, fire Ulbricht. He should never coach again. And I'm going, for his son being stupid? And by the way, if you do a prank call, white people, stop recording yourself. What is wrong with you? Homeboy's like going, he's doing the calling, and then the cameraman decides to pan to the guy who got the info. You dry snitch, cameraman. Yes, Ron?
Do anybody got old school belt?
Oh.
This I've been saying it, and I'm gonna keep on saying it.
Sterile, if my son cost me to lose 100,000, I already told him about this, and he says I wouldn't be walking.
What?
He says, he's like, how old was he? I was like, he's 21. He goes, I would not be walking. I would have to go to the hospital say I fell.
I will say at this moment,
yes,
he knew he fucked up. When the video cameraman put his face on the internet, if I'm the defensive coordinator of the Falcons, Jeff, I would go home and I would say, oh, so you want to make me lose my job or make me lose $100,000. But every time I see you for the next 20 years, I'm going to be on you like flies on shit. No ifs, buts about it. And you got to get a job to pay me back all this money.
Hold on. Not only is he's my landscaper, He's my roofer, my plumber, my whatever. And it won't be dad. It is, yes, sir. And that will come down. But yeah, because you can't just beat your kid every damn day. I mean, look,
Right.
let's just call it what it is. There is some point where you just go, look, I'm tired. I don't need to be.
Right. But he's going to be working to pay off this bill. Every time he get a paycheck, hey, give me 200. Give me 300. I don't care. You got to pay this $100,000 bill off. I don't care if it take you for the rest of your life.
Ron, let's just move it to a different direction, though. It's not the father you need to worry about. It's your mom's, because normally she's your defense attorney.
No.
But when she hears, wait, 100,000, boy,
Yeah. Hey,
yeek.
get him. It's gonna be like SmackDown for the next 40 years. I go back to the old school way. Give me a belt and bust his ass. No, it busts about.
Yeah, and by the way, Jax is being already punished. Yeah, I mean, my thing is this: he confronted Shedeur Sanders. They worked it. I'm very impressed by this whole thing.
Right.
I really am. All right.
Yep.
I really am. I don't want that to get lost because a lot of people have not looked at this as, again, was it a stupid idea? Yes.
Yes.
Does it happen on top? Yes.
Yes.
The thing is, you recorded it, and of course it's connected to us. That's, again, we are the team of damn. If this city, if something goes on in Atlanta, it's always going to be connected somehow to one of our teams. And we have to just do the following. Damn. I mean, Kirk Cousins. Damn.
Hey.
Julio. Damn. Why did he have to tell Unc that? And then you hear about Unc. Damn. And then you watch Bill Belichick, who's with his young girlfriend telling him how to dress and clothe and look like a hobo. Damn. That could have been our coach.
What?
I mean, by the way, that man's pen pack. I don't care what anyone says.
It just sometimes something like this. I got one question for y'all.
Yeah.
Do the kids still live at home?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if he do live at home, you gotta get a
No,
job.
he doesn't live at home. He's in college currently, and he was visiting, his family. He was visiting Jeff's house, his parents' house. He does not live there.
Well, you gotta get a job. You gotta give me your paycheck for the next 80 years. I don't care you lose everything you got. I don't care. $100,000? Are you crazy?
Like I said, he's now my new everything. Landscaper, gardener, pool boy.
Look, I don't care what time you got to get up early in the morning, but every day after school.
But that's realistically not happening because he doesn't live in the same town as him. Honestly, he'll probably just maybe if he pays for his college, he's no longer going to do that or, do something that will affect him. Or maybe once you graduate college, okay, you have to be on a payment plan to pay this money back.
Well, you better do something. $100,000.
This is where I want to say the following. When we say all this stuff, I'm going to say the following. That is between daddy and son and mama. And then when they work, we don't have nothing to go into. He goes to school. Man, Brian's been stuck.
Wait a minute. That 20 minutes away from me.
Hold on. Again, I'm going to say this. First of all, Ryan's got FBI people looking for these people. So, but no, what's so great is like I'll be giving him the
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, y'all are killing me. Look, it's between them. They'll get it handled. I'm not worried. If Jeff Ulbrich does his job, by the way, guess who stays here as an Atlanta Falcon? Jeff Ulbrich.
Right.
So let's not lose our minds here. Now, Ladarius did drop, so we're going to continue. A guy that, what was it? I forgot the show. I was listening to Domino and Cellini, and they were talking about the most impactful person that they got in the offseason. And the reason I'm bringing this up for the Falcons was Nate Ollie, who is the defensive line coach of the Houston Texans that came over here. And Domino was saying this man needs to make the picks for our franchise because he knows what we need. So, all right, cool. We'll just, this will be it, Carrie. I'm sorry. I just read that. What do you think about Nate Ollie and how he'll be involved? Because now you got these new pieces. Look, it's in everyone's best interest to make sure James Pierce, really everybody, this defense is upgraded to the max. So what do you think?
I think they got
I'll go to Gary first, Ron, and then I'll go to you. I promise.
Okay. No, Nate Ali, I'm really excited about him as a coach, see what he can do with this defensive line. If you guys get a chance, check him out on YouTube. The Falcons had an interview with him yesterday. But yeah, he said that the Falcons D line will be an attacking front so that the players on that line can play more free. I thought
Good.
that was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to what he can do to coach these guys up. We got a lot of young talent on that defensive line, and he comes from the Texans who had a good defensive line, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh yeah. All right, Ron, what say you, buddy?
I think everywhere Nate Ali went or been, he turned that defensive line around. He went to the Colts. He turned them around. The defensive line. He went to the Texans, turned them around. So I pray to God he did turn our defensive line around.
All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to let Carrie give her shout outs and plugs, and then me and Ron will clean up and take care of the rest. So Carrie, go for it.
Thank you, C Double, Ron, and Ladarius, and everyone in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to Terry Fontenot. He really cooked. I'm so happy with the picks and the draft. And yeah, I hope everyone in the chat has a good day. Thanks for your support. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. We appreciate you, Carrie. Always check out Carrie. Check her on Twitter, Carrie Lynn XOXO, and check her out. She always comes up with some good stuff out there. She's always reviewing and always coming up with some idea or some really fun things, and of course, sends the funny pictures too.
Right.
But yeah, I think Kevin Ali is going to be a real good addition for us.
Right.
It's just a question of how are we going to fit. Or my thing is this. I personally feel we're going to be seeing a lot of fat trimming.
Right.
And my view is this: to really fat trim, you need to play these guys. Let's see the preseason and let's see who rises up.
Right.
I don't care about, you got to see who are your best players. And don't sit them. Don't waste their time. Get them involved. Get them in shape. And I want to see the best play.
Right.
I want to see Kennerup play. I want to see if Dorless can play.
Yeah.
I want to see if Trice has something. All right. I know people want to bring him up, but my thing is this: you don't trade your first round draft pick the year if you're relying on Trice.
Right.
So I want to remind people that James Pierce has got to be that guy. I think Walker and him are those guys.
Right.
I'm intrigued to see how this defense gets worked around. Caden Ellis, I'm interested to see where he plays off of. And dude, I'll tell you, if if it's me, I'm putting. It's like this. I'm moving Jalen all over the place.
Right.
What would you
Uh,
do if you had the choice? It's like, would you keep him in one spot, or would you just move him anywhere you can?
I would move him everywhere.
Mhm.
I would move both of them, Ellis and him, because both of them they do the same thing. Basically, you got a younger Ellis as a rookie.
Yeah.
Can we all agree on that?
I mean, I think so. I mean, I think Ellis is going to provide a really good spark for the team.
Right.
Or Ellis is a good leader, but yeah, I think I think Jalen. Look, I've already said Jalen's going to be like head above. I think.
Right. But I would move. I would, to be honest, I would go to Georgia and ask Kobe Smart, how do you play Jalen on Walter? What did you do? What the secret? Go talk to him.
Oh, they
You
have
see
to.
what I'm-
Yeah, I think not only do you talk to him, you got to watch film.
Right.
I don't think it's like this, where some guys they would tell you, "Oh, I just go get the guy." He would actually tell you the assignment. He would tell you, and I'm telling you right now, if he's that detail oriented, working under Kirby Smart, Kirby demands excellence. I'm telling you, you're not even going to need to call Kirby because he's telling you how Kirby was thinking.
So,
and, yeah,
it like this. Jalen Walter is a difference maker. He that guy.
Yeah.
Like he's down 10 toes down. He that dude. He remember we were talking about the draft a while back, and I was like, Jalen Walter is a leader.
Yes.
When the last time the Falcons had a great defensive leader?
Yeah.
He that dude.
You know, there's a difference between a great pass rusher and a great defensive leader.
Right.
And I found it great that we drafted him first.
Right.
Because, man, yeah.
He is a leader. I mean, he one of those dudes. And by the way,
go ahead.
Right. By the way, shout out to Miss Pam then, because Miss Pam was at the stadium.
Yeah.
She was at the stadium when they drafted Jalen Walter. So I seen that, Miss Pam, so I want to give you your props.
Oh yeah. I think it was Maggie, and I think Christy was also with them. The ladies of AFN, man, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Gotta give a shout out to them. They
keep on doing what y'all been doing, Miss Pam. Keep up the good work. Shout out to you and all the females over there.
Yeah, y'all are killing it. I mean, y'all doing a great job.
And y'all do a great job. Y'all break down the film, everything. I love it. Well, back to Jalen Walter. Jalen Walter is a difference maker.
I like what Ryan said here, and because this is kind of what we're talking about. Jesse was that last true leader on defense. And we never could get that right. And I feel the same way.
Yes. So if I'm Raheem Morris, I would call Jesse Tuttles to train him. I would call him. I'd be like, Jesse Tuttles, hey, are you busy? If you're not, then I got a project for you. But it's not even a project. But I want you to train Jalen Walker to be the best. Anytime, Miss Pam, keep on doing y'all thing over there.
I really want to see Walker and Pierce on the field. Curious to see how AK will do. Look, AK is gonna. it's going to be one of those. Just to get off the pot, he may have one of those great years.
Right.
And then again, hey, he may just be one of those that it's just his time. So we'll see. Jesse Bates is the lead. He is the leader of the defense, King Rich. Don't get me wrong now.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Jalen Walker is the guy that you'll see. You'll see.
Right.
Thank you for the shout out. Much appreciated. It was a lot of fun. And it's like subscribe to all Atlanta podcast creators. Thank you, Miss Pam. You are amazing.
But Jalen Walker is just one of those dudes. Don't get me wrong. Bates, I love Bates to death.
Mm-hmm.
But you got a different animal when you got Jalen Walker. You got a different animal. They don't make them like that.
No.
They don't grow on trees like that. So I had to say that.
No. I like this pick, and I think with Georgia, in the era of NIL, Georgia's going to be that one school though that goes you get in the NFL when you come here.
Right.
We'll prepare you. And
right.
If you notice, a lot of teams are saying, "Man, get you a dog, get you someone from Georgia."
It like 4 teams in college, that will prepare you to go to the NFL.
Yeah.
Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, and Notre Dame, in my opinion.
Matter of fact, just about all our draft picks were captains. See, that's something cool too. That's a good thing. Because, and I really like the Watts pick. I really do. And then a healthy Troy. All right. Miss Pam, I love you. Look, Troy, I'm going to say it. Troy Anderson may be the guy looking out, looking in. Because he may be like on special teams or used sporadically, which would be good for him.
Right.
But as a everyday starter, I don't know, because every time we needed and depended on him, he was out the next day.
Right.
So that makes me question his ability.
Right.
I mean, that one game he was great, but the problem was that was one game out of 17.
Right. And King Richie, Texas, yes. Mm-hmm. And Oregon.
Oregon is coming up because they got Danny Lanning. That's true.
Yes.
I forgot about him. Oh, he is a good special team, and I think he'll make his money. You can make money as a special teamer.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's no shade. I think that you can actually make your money as a special teamer. When
somebody get tired, you bring him in as whatever linebacker or pass rusher.
He could cover. I mean, just see how he does. I'm interested to see how he plays and how he steps up with everyone being here.
Right.
Is there going to be I need to really escalate my game? You see what I'm saying? How he's going to rise up to the competition.
Right.
So, but let's see. We got hold on, Troy's more time at Piedmont Hospital. Brian from the Birdcage, you are so good, man. I tell you what.
And Grady Hospital.
You're real helping out. He was over you. I wouldn't say that. I mean, homeboy was hurt pretty early in the year. Your best availability is availability.
Yes.
And Brian, if you were here, I would be asking you, because I know, when we talk about this, I asked earlier, this draft has to tell some of those guys on that defense, man, you better be ready, because if not, your job is being taken.
Yes. This a warning. This a warning sign.
Oh yeah.
This oh shit, we better get our shit together. We know what's coming.
Yeah. And by the way, this might change him to change his strength. He needs to change something. At this point, I would have been looking at it going, man, oh shoot, man, no wonder my phone was weird. My bad, man. Hold on, I love Ryan. He always does the following. I sent you a DM. Yeah, he did. God dang it. Here we go. Give me a minute. We're gonna bring Ryan in if I can make my phone work. My phone has been retarded today. Woke up and I was trying to get all this stuff done. I was like, man, what's going on here? Mommy just start sending him a message, just tell him to come on in.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting. I had all the stuff with the lawnmowers today, and I was like, man, I need to get this done. Oh man. So yeah, and yeah, the whole thing where I heard people talk about what was it with Shador. I know I may have rubbed some people wrong, but my thing is, look, you better. It's on you now, Playboy.
Right.
You want on this? You better step it up.
Right. You don't. Shador need to man up now.
Yeah.
You drafted in the NFL. Dion, his father not there, so this on you now. If like they said, if he want the smoke, well, you better bring it. It won't be easy. Not by far. It will not be easy. And trust me, some of these head coaches will make it hard for you to get that job. But you better bring all that smoke with you, player.
Now, see, I'm not going to call this man the junkyard dog and anything, but I'm going to just say, Mr. JYD, by the way, love that video you sent. Man, that's old school right there. I appreciate that. You know that. So come on, Mr. Historian. You are in the Morning Madness crew. What you got, man? What you got?
Man, it depends on what you offering. So I'll just say this here. Competition breeds competition. And I'm just gonna keep it honest with you. Half of these picks that came through during the Dan Quinn and Arthur Smith era, it's a lot of these guys is getting ready to get their walking papers. I'm telling you that now. You know, a lot of people want to sit here and be on the fan favorites. I'm not gonna bash anybody because hey, people fall in love with players, but I'm gonna tell you just like this here. Availability is your best ability, as I said.
Yeah.
And Troy Anderson is a project player. Let's keep it a buck. Yeah, he's made some plays and he's had some flashes of some things, but I'm gonna keep it honest with you. What has he really done to remain in Atlanta? No. Let's be real on this. What the hell has he done to remain here in Atlanta? That's my question.
Ryan, his best game was a game he got hurt in.
Man,
I mean,
when I say it's sickening, it's sickening. Yeah. Like when you sit back and a lot of these people who are stuck on certain players, I'm looking at it like it's time to trim the fat.
Yep.
It's time to get rid of some of the riffraff that's been up in here. I went old school with that one. I was talking, me and my grandfather was talking about this. It's a lot of riffraff that's here that shouldn't be here still.
Ain't that the truth?
Being honest, a lot of riffraff. And if you really look at how the draft played out, the draft was pretty much letting you know that Terry finally, they took the gag out of his mouth and they also took the handcuffs off.
Right.
So all I can say is in the place, what's going on, Auntie? Yo? But all I'm saying is this. When you really look at it, this Falcons team has no business losing this division this year at all.
No.
Right.
When we did, think about this. Look at what we did, and we had a weak division, and it wasn't that great this year.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about that, fellas. And when you sit back and pay attention to everything that's going on, and you look at how the front office is moving, Rich McKay moved aside. You can tell he moved aside because I really believe that he was hearing a lot of the chirping from everybody. And I know they're saying, Terry, guess what? You on your own on this one. If you don't make it, you know, you in hot water. So with the draft that he actually composed this year, I think that not only did he save his job, Penix extended his job for another
Yeah.
a year or two.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this draft has cemented his place in this front office because
It
they
should
saw
be,
how
yeah.
he
It
moved.
should. Yeah.
So let's be honest. There's no more Terry. I'm gonna be honest with you on this. I'm still gonna be tough on Terry, but there's no more Terry slander. He showed me that he understands what being competent is when
Right.
it comes to the draft and the evaluation process and the talent we were able to acquire. Now, as for my head coach, the verdict is still out. You
Thank
have to deliver a playoff berth, and you have to deliver a division title at this point. If you don't get a division title, you got to have a playoff berth and a playoff win. For me to be satisfied with your progress during the season, because winning one extra game means nothing.
Right.
I mean, and I sit back and I look at this whole situation right now. Jeff Ulbrich got to earn my trust. I appreciate you manning up, taking responsibility for what you did. And C-Dub, I got to disagree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
From being a former player and trying to get to that level and understanding the sacrifices that guys make, understanding you pass out. Let me tell you this here. This is what people don't understand. If you never played at the college level, semi-pro level, or trying to get to those levels through high school and everything, you'll never understand a lot of this. If you're a good player, a lot of the stuff that you sacrifice and a lot of the time you sacrifice to do this, you lose out on friendships. Hell, I can tell you countless number of former teammates of mine, of guys I played against. A lot of us get cheated on more than we cheat on them. Say what you want. And the reason why I'm telling you this now, I'm not saying because there are some that do it. There's a lot of dudes out here that's sitting there sticking and rolling. But I'm gonna tell you this here. A lot of relationships are broken because of the time. There's more time invested into your craft than it is a relationship. And if you don't understand what that's like, you can't speak to me about it. You can't. And if you've never, and see, I've been there. I played semi-pro. I got hurt.
High school.
Played high school, played semi-pro. Was supposed to go to Southern, so I understand that process. And I got friends that played in the NFL. My old teammate, Rusty Smith, my boy Maurice Wells, who I had on the show. He went to Ohio State. I'm gonna tell you this here. We had many of Friday nights and Saturday nights that we missed out on parties because guess what we was doing? We was all running together at night. We was all finding somebody's house where we were lifting weights, doing workouts, doing things. I'm just telling you the type of stuff that guys give up to get to that point. So when you get to that level and you're sitting there waiting for that phone call and everybody, oh, it's just a prank call. Motherfucker, please. I don't want to hear that shit. Excuse my French this morning, but it pisses me off because you don't understand what guys go through to get to that level.
Look, I say it like this. Why I say it was no big deal is because the person who got pranked said it was no big deal. My thing is this. Again, I'm not saying do it. I'm not
but
saying
that's Shedeur. But see, Doug, Shedeur comes from a family where he had a silver spoon in his mouth. I'm talking about talking about the guys who don't come from that. I'm talking about the guys where you got to realize that part. And that's like, here's my thing. I get prank calls. I get that. But for you to record yourself doing that dumb stuff, and now we can identify you.
Yeah. My thing is this. There's too many stupid things that happen with that. First of all, you recorded yourself. Stupid. All right. And then your dumbass friends made sure you were in the video. It's like, y'all are dumb. And what I've always said, to fix all this, especially now with the technology, video call. You can't prank a video call.
I agree with you on that. But at the same time, until they switch their protocol, this is going to be some of the issues you have. Because
this is why we're talking
about this, man.
But what I'm saying is I look at this. The way everyone was reacting to all this is what I'm saying is there's nothing we can do. Okay? Let them work it out. That ain't my problem. That's hey,
No,
Ulbrich.
but I want
If
to
you want
ask you
this
something
kid, beat him.
because you giving it that, but I want to give you a perspective, as I said before. When you got a guy, this is all he
Yeah,
has. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he might have graduated school and he might have been able to do some things, or he decided to leave early. This is
yeah,
all he has.
yeah.
You got
No,
his
I agree.
family banking on
There are a
him.
lot more players that have been prank called. It's not.
No, I
This isn't
get.
like
I'm
he's not
trying
the
to
first
I'm
to
trying to
have.
get you to understand this point
Yeah,
because you ain't budging, but I'm still gonna tell you this because
you're
I'm on
good.
that side of the fence where
I got
you
you.
got to
You good?
understand when we say, look, you got some guys who come from a situation where
Hmm.
this is all they have. You don't know where their mindset is because
Yeah,
again, Kyron Lacy was supposed to be a top draft pick, and you see, God rest his soul, you see that he was at the breaking point after the combine, and he was
yeah,
projected to be a top pick. You got some guys, C Dub, that are in a bad place mentally as well.
yeah.
So
No, I got
sometimes some of these jokes are not funny and then when the guy kills himself or something happens, oh well, everybody wants to feel sorry, but no one thinks about this shit when it's going on. That's all I'm saying. I
you.
understand. I'm okay with a good joke, but I
Yeah, yeah.
also think about the other side of the house when you look at these guys that might have mental issues and they're barely holding on by a thread, man. Like
And again,
people don't
yeah.
get it, bro.
Well, what I'm saying is that in my view, what I've said is if because this has happened multiple times, and it
Yeah,
has, and those guys, and here's the other thing, guys never, it almost like these guys never brought that up until now. So my thing is, since I'm aware of it,
oh yeah,
I look at it. Let's fix it. Video call. Everyone's got
agreed.
the ability. Now, the other thing, I want to go back to the Raheem thing because
Yeah.
you touched on the biggest question mark I think is on this team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that is Rod's got to coach these guys. Jeff Ulbrich, he's got to do his job. Nate Ollie's got to do his job. We were talking about Nate Ollie being brought in from the Texans. And
Yeah, I know. D-line coach,
yeah,
excellent coach.
yeah. So my question to you is this. You're right. I don't think it's like this. I've told Ron, Terry shouldn't be fired if we don't make the playoffs. But we better have, or it's got to show that James Pierce is on the incline. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, this was a good investment
Mhm.
making this because Raheem is in charge of all this. He's got to coach this. And that
You
is
got to
my
temper
question.
your
To me, that's
expectations
the
with
biggest
rookies,
question
bro.
mark. Huh?
You got when it comes to pass rush, like certain positions, they translate. Like running back is the easiest position to translate. The only thing they have to get better at is identifying things and picking up the blocks. That's the
Yeah,
main thing with a running back. Everything else they do transitions, and that's the
exactly.
easiest transition compared. But now when you talk about edge rushers and defensive players, some guys hit right off the bat, but then you also have some guys who it takes them a year or two to get their feet up under them. So my thing is with these rookies that we got, I want to see flashes. I don't
Hmm.
expect them to ball out this year because guess what they're doing? They're learning the system. Outside of learning the system, they're learning how to become professionals. They're learning how to salvage their bodies during the season. Like you're having guys come fresh out of college. Some guys can just adapt immediately, but
Hmm.
then you have to look at the guys who it's an adjustment.
Yeah,
It's an adjustment. And if you give them a year or two to adjust, then boom, you got something, especially for pass rushers. Because let's be real, one of the biggest pass rushers, one of the greatest pass rushers of all time is Bruce Smith.
yeah,
Everybody knows about the great Bruce Smith.
yeah.
Go back to when Bruce first started. Bruce was 300 pounds. I know
Hmm.
you remember that, C Dub. Bruce was a
I do.
big boy. He was
The
he
biggest.
was a almost 300 pounder. He lost weight,
Hmm.
got in playing shape because you got to remember, you coming out of Virginia Tech, this kid grew up eating soul food his whole life and was big, had a quick first step. It's the truth. Daryl Talley even said it.
Oh
When
yeah,
he got
yeah,
into that mode of learning how to be a professional, everything changed
yeah.
when you talk about weight control, you talk about with your diet is like you're talking about learning the playbook. You're talking about learning that you can't just speed rush everybody or you can't just bull rush everybody.
Yeah.
You're learning the tricks of the trade. So when you talk about it, edge rushers are definitely guys that have to adapt to the game. Some guys hit on the part like Michael Parsons and Lawrence Taylor, but I believe that Pierce is going to be out of the two. I'm going to be honest with you. Jalen Walker's my guy.
Oh, I
That is
know.
my dude. That is my guy. I wanted him.
Yeah,
But
I love Jalen. That's the one
I'm
I
gonna
would.
tell you the truth.
Yeah, Ron,
It's gonna
me.
take
Yeah.
him. I give him. It's gonna take him 2 years. It's gonna take him 2 years to become that guy. It's
Mhm.
gonna take him 2 years, and I'm saying it. Now, if he does it before then, I'll eat crow. But it's gonna take him 2 years. But Pierce, off the bat, Pierce is gonna be that guy. A lot of people. C-Dub, I haven't been wrong with my evaluations yet.
I know.
It's a reason why I'm telling you this.
Hold on. Hold on. When you tell me stuff, I look at you and go, Ryan knows what he's talking about. When I hear Mel Kiper say something, I look and go, man, get the hell out of here.
And, no, I appreciate that. But and here's my thing. If Walker does it off the rip, I'm cool with it. But the reason I say Pierce is gonna be that guy is because you already doubting him for number one coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
for number two.
And he has a little crazy in him.
And here's the other thing. He had the highest percentage of quarterback pressure in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes he disappeared, like he disappeared in the Georgia game, of course.
Yeah.
It was what it was. He disappeared in the Bama game from time to time. But when you look at it, now that he has a little bit more help and he's got somebody that's going to coach him, the raw ability that he has is getting ready to be ugly. The last time we had something out of Tennessee like this was Big Chuck Smith.
Oh, we know how he did.
Say that name again, Ryan.
Big
Big
Chuck
Chuck
Smith. Yeah.
Smith.
What did Walker say?
Everybody don't remember.
I already said I'm getting my Jalen Walker jersey as soon as it drops.
Oh,
Hey,
I've already created artwork for Jalen Walker already.
I
already
wish
created the
I
color.
could afford a Jalen Walker.
let me say this. I think Jalen Walker is definitely going to benefit from the Georgia system. You
Facts.
played under Kirby Smart. You
Yes.
got to be on your P's and Q's. This isn't one of those Kirby just lets anybody play.
Nope. He don't let everybody on the field.
No. And if he trusts you with signals and calls, guess what? You're that dude. So in my view, I already saw that with Jalen. And I said, man, if we get a guy like this is a kind of a defensive leader we need. And my thing is this, let him learn. Give him the year. My thing is, don't be surprised if you see him making plays.
What?
He's gonna be one of those guys. You'll always hear his name somewhere.
Yep.
It's either
Always around the
tackle-
football. Got a nose for the football.
Yes.
Mhm.
And
He
pairing him with Jesse Bates, you're gonna put him around,
Here's
Caden Ellis. My thing is this: these are men coming in, and they get that Georgia tax too. You get the Georgia tax. What I mean is, what do other teams say? They come prepared. They know what they're doing.
they have a championship mindset.
Yes.
And,
I agree.
and even before Georgia won championships, the
Yes.
one thing they said about Georgia football players was this: the way that they are mentally prepared and the way that they have a motor that doesn't die. Like, you can't play for Kirby Smart and you ain't got a motor. You can't. You won't make it. And here's the scary part about Pierce. And I'm gonna throw this out here. Both of those guys have what we call mean streaks.
Oh,
This
yes.
is something that Atlanta defenses have lacked. Y'all can disagree with me all you want.
Oh,
Whether
we ain't gonna disagree. We've been saying the same thing.
oh no, I'm speaking to anybody because I've said this. If you gonna bring in a guy of high character, you need to bring in the guy that's got a mean streak. He could be a nice guy off the field, but guess what? I need him to, when you on the field, I don't mind seeing him throw a punch. I don't mind seeing him. I'll take a 15-yard penalty for you to set the tone and let these jokers know that it's not gonna be sweet today. I'm okay with that as long as you ball. So again, Pierce is that one that don't talk much, but he let his pass do the talking.
Woo.
And I'm telling you right now, between him and Jalen Walker, and Walker talk trash. He's nice, but if you ever look at the clips of him at Georgia, Walker talk trash. Go back to that Texas game that they played.
God, yes.
And,
Oh.
and
Hold on.
Kelvin
Where he was
Banks-
talking to his son, that tackle.
Kelvin Banks, who's with the New Orleans Saints right now. Just think about it.
He was
Kelvin
checking in on his son.
I want you to think about this, C-Dub. He told Kelvin Banks, y'all can do everything y'all can to stop me, but you still not going to stop me. I'm still going to make plays. So what's the purpose of you even coming on this field? He told him that. I said, that's the most disrespectful thing you can tell a guy let's be real. Kelvin Banks, and this is just to tell you how good Kelvin Banks is, because I got to give the Saints some credit. They got one. Banks was an All-American from the time he stepped on the field as a freshman until now. And then he became All-SEC this year. So again, and this is their first year in the SEC. So again, when you talk about it, all I'm saying is Jalen is one of these guys that I believe his infectious personality is going to get. But him and Pierce talk trash on the field. That's something that we don't have. They talk trash, and they mean.
I don't mind. I want to.
I love it. I've been saying we need guys
They're not quiet like y'all think, man.
Who?
Like I tell people, Jalen's not quiet like y'all think. And
no.
I think what makes it even funnier is this. I think the meanest guy that played for us would probably be that played for Georgia. I would probably have to say Dan Jackson. Dirty Dan. And he went to Detroit.
I was wanting him bad, but then when we
got
Watt,
if we didn't get Billy, I wanted Dan.
Yeah, I wanted Dan too.
And it's the reason why I said that. I wanted Dan. I know Starks is a guy who's just an amazing safety.
Oh God,
can't take nothing away from the kid. And
of course he goes to the Baltimore Ravens, of course.
And they already got a shutdown secondary with TJ Tampa and Nate Wiggins. Yeah. And then you add him with Kyle Hamilton, that's gonna be dangerous. But so just think about this, C-Dub. A guy that was a walk-on, literally walked into Kirby's office, walked on special teams. The first championship, the first time you really outside of special teams that you saw Dan Jackson on the field, when Dan Jackson took that block. Pretty much he got the worst of that block when Ringo walked into the end zone. That was your first sighting of Dan. And then he comes up to starting the second year and helping lead Georgia to a championship, going to 2 straight SEC championships. And just think about it. The Senior Bowl, Dan was the best defensive player there.
Yeah.
And now he with the Lions.
And here's the funny part. Outside of Dan, my boy Carson Vincent, 4th round pick, Baltimore Ravens, they got him. Yeah. And Mike Green, who everybody was all clamoring over, Baltimore got him too. And go back and look at the film. Carson was whooping Green's ass the whole time at the Senior Bowl. And now that those two are going to be playing against each other, see, a lot of the picks that I talked to you guys about have been drafted. Not many went as undrafted. Kendall Bolder went as an undrafted free agent, but he's gone to Denver. Sean Payton snatched him up with the quickness. He was the first one he snatched up. And C-Dub, when I tell you, it's just certain things you look for with kids. Everybody's looking, he got these. No. When I look at a football player, the numbers are good. I like the numbers. The stats are cool, but I look at how the impact of guys are on the field. Yeah. That's what I mainly look for.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant, we signed him. And I was like,
I love the Kobe Bryant pick.
We got a dog.
We got Millie Mills. Bring it,
What's going on, Millie Mill?
Yeah, apparently Ryan set the internet on fire with the eye test with your performance, man, or your appearance, if you will.
I appreciate that. I didn't do much. I just went in there and just told the truth.
Yeah. I like how you go.
I just told the truth. I just told the truth, man. It was nothing malicious about it. It was just the fact that, we were talking about Shedeur, and I said, hands down, if you're going to sit there and try to say Shedeur was that top dog like that, then, it's like you can't really say that because he played in 2 national championships and folded at Jackson State against teams that they should have beaten. South
Yeah.
Carolina State had no business being in that championship. But
Yeah.
Buddy Pugh, being the great coach that he is, and he's a Hall of Famer, and he's put multiple guys in the NFL out of South Carolina State, Buddy Pugh pretty much whipped Deion's ass that day, and Shador and Travis Hunter that day. And then you go to the next year when they end up playing against not FAMU, that was North Carolina Central. They literally handed them their ass with King Davis. They handed them boys their ass. So again,
Look,
you go
yeah.
and y'all want to, and they want to sit there and say that, oh well, Jackson State. No, Jackson State was a pipeline of players way before them three got there.
Folks,
So again,
if you ever tried to debate Ryan about
You better-
HBCU,
You
better
better
bring
come with.
everything.
no,
'Cause this
and that
man
was
is
what set it
quick.
on, and that was what set it on fire. Because I asked, and shout out to my boy Winston, because he do his thing on that show. But we just had a bit of a disagreement, and I asked him, I said, "Dog, do you even watch HBCU?" Yes, I watch it. I said, apparently you don't watch it close enough, and that was what started.
Yeah.
Ron was in there last night when I
Hey,
said that.
Hey,
Ron
I
started
said,
laughing when I said,
I did like this. I said,
Right, see, dude, when he said that, I actually looked at Ron and kind of smirked, because when he do that, I know he about to either instigate or he gonna sit back. But let's be real, man. When you look at the type of talent that, Prime opened that door again for Jackson State to become to become recognizable on the national stage. But before Prime got there, let's be honest, man, you got 4 Hall of Famers out of that school, and then you have over 100 draft picks that have gone to the league out of that school, and they were good players. So again, when you sit back and look at it, Jackson State was always a football powerhouse.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that because they played against my SU Jags growing up. So again, the best, I'm gonna give you this here. That kid, Joshua Smith, that was in the undrafted free agency market, we knew about him from the SEC. Josh Smith is really a Jonnu Smith type of tight end. He is exactly like Jonnu Smith.
My heart, why don't you? I miss you, Jonnu.
And no, but you're not gonna miss him because you got one. He's exactly like Jonnu Smith.
Oh.
And when you look at the 8th round, I tell people like this: Ray McLeod might not get on the field over Nick Nash. Say what you want. And Nash he finished second in the Biletnikoff Award only because they wanted to give Travis Hunter that award, and Travis didn't even have the numbers that kid had.
Man, I cannot wait, because I thought Nick
No
Nash,
disrespect to
Kobe
Travis, because
Bryant,
Travis is a beast.
Yeah, I think Nick Nash, Kobe Bryant, I think Josh Smith, and there was another one. I want to say
Simon Barrow out of Miami, that defensive tackle.
Okay. Yeah, the defensive tackle.
And it's an offensive lineman. I don't know if you saw it. We got Jordan Miller out of Georgia Tech. He's got over, and I talked about it on Bumper to Bumper this morning.
Yeah.
Over 300 snaps and only gave up 1 sack, just like Jack Nielsen out of Wisconsin. Over 300 snaps and he gave up 1 sack.
Do you think that it's possible that these tackles that we got, the Nelson kid from Wisconsin and the Georgia Tech kid, you think they can work their way into the lineup?
Yes.
I would say that.
They'll be starting by their 3rd year.
I would say that Caleb McGarry better get his shit together.
I'm gonna be honest with you. We might see
a lot of people
we might see the best out of McGarry because he got them young pups behind him. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Those two we got 3 offensive linemen, and there's another kid out of Georgia Tech. I can't think of his name. White boy. He's nasty at that tackle spot, but I can't remember his name. But it's 3 of those guys. It's 2. So we got 2 Georgia Tech offensive linemen and a Wisconsin offensive lineman this year. 2 were undrafted, 1 was drafted, and they all have something in common. They all have over 300 snaps, and they've given up less than 5 sacks.
That's not a coincidence. Yeah.
That's not a coincidence that they got him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, who?
McGarry wasn't that bad last year. We know this, but here's the problem. It's been his whole career in Atlanta. He's been bad. 1 year does not excuse the garbage that you put on the field. That's what I need for Falcon fans to understand.
every
Stop
year,
trying to go off of just 1 year. Go off the body of work.
Yeah.
every year, a football player is supposed to get better and better.
Yeah.
You should not be mid every year,
Well, here's the other thing to think about.
in my opinion.
You now have Penix, who's left-handed, and this is what Ryan's been saying all at the Birdcage. Y'all make sure and check out the Birdcage, by the way.
Right.
The LLC over at 8 p.m. today. You know, make sure you come on in and, you know, put you a chair down and check out my boy Ryan as him and the Birdcage gang are
You got an
discussing.
open invitation to come in tonight, by the way.
know what?
Open invitation.
I might have to come on in. I'll leave the computer up. I might have to come on in for you. You know what? Because I love you. So yeah, we could do that.
Appreciate that.
Because I mean, look, I love the takes you guys give, but my thing is this. This is why I asked, because McGarity is that guy that's going to protect the blind side, and that means something to all of us because this is Michael Penix's first full year. There's going to be tape on him. People are going to know how to play him, and they're gonna have to learn how to attack him. So my thing is, if these guys, 7th or whatever, I don't care. If they can protect my guy, that's who I want protecting my guy.
Right.
Yeah.
So, because I don't want to see Kirk Cousins nowhere.
That's his name, Gray. Yeah, that offensive lineman, he plays every position on the line too. I know all about him. And this is what makes it even funnier when you talk about these kids coming from Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
You pretty much have a head coach. No, Baltimore didn't get Biggers. I think it was the Raiders who got him. I'm not sure. I got to check. But let's be honest. Brett Keys. Now, I hate Georgia Tech. I'm a Georgia Bulldog. But the one thing I give Brett Keys, he's a former offensive lineman who played at Georgia Tech, was an All-American. He did his thing. And if you look at what happened when he took over for the other coach that they let go of that was taking pictures in front of the Waffle House and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, Jeff Collins. Yeah, that is.
Jeff Collins. I'll be honest with you. Georgia Tech has a toughness about them that they haven't had in a long time since George O'Leary was coaching there. That was the last time they had a toughness like that. And no disrespect to Paul Johnson, but he wasn't putting them in there like that. But Brett Keys is bringing toughness back to Tech. They're not a pushover team like they once were.
They're
and my thing is, I don't mind drafting the Georgia Tech offensive lineman that he's had his hands on. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Not just
we
that.
Can get our deep look. We can get our O lineman out of Georgia, or we can get them out of Tech. We got 2 places to pull from now. So I'm okay with bringing these guys in.
And my thing is with Tech, the Georgia versus Georgia Tech game, I was nervous about because they were so disciplined in. But what's so great about Georgia Tech is just you could tell Kirby respected Brett Keys. And I'm just telling you, man.
You saw the hug after the game. Kirby don't hug up. I mean, he'll shake hands. Or he'll know what I'm saying? It depends on who it is. He'll shake hands. But Kirby actually embraced Brett Keys. I'm talking about, and he hugged him for about 20, 30 seconds because Brett Keys was crying literally on Kirby's shoulder.
Yeah.
Now think about that. This is a rival that's doing that. And remember, he and Kirby played against each other in college.
Yeah.
So there's a mutual respect on both ends. But when you see that, I'm going to be honest with you. I know now that Georgia Tech has a coach that did coach up under Saban, just like Kirby did. Guess what? You're gonna have tough-minded football players right over at the Lego Block School.
Yeah,
that's what I call them.
Those engineers.
The engineers. I call it the beehive, where the honeybees are.
Don't be surprised.
But you know what?
In a couple of years, we might get that head coach.
Listen, they're gonna be our bosses still, but I think I'm gonna be independent before I let that happen. But
that's what I would do.
But let's be real. We finally got a offensive line factory because you're seeing Georgia Tech O-linemen taking now. We have an O-line factory that's right in Atlanta now.
God, yes, we do. And look,
they
finally got a Georgia Bulldog in the building in the first round.
At
Great
this
job.
point, you got to keep drafting Tech guys. You need to be drafting
Yeah.
Georgia guys, and you need to be drafting Tech guys that's right in your backyard.
Right.
But that's if they're worthy of a draft pick.
Exactly.
Make sure I put that out there.
Yeah. If they're worth going that high for, yes, you should. So let's talk about it. All right. Because we're going to wrap up here eventually. But what is it that most concerns you besides the head coach? But
Okay.
what player are you looking at going, all right, are you good? Is it P get off the pot time for this guy? Who's that guy for you? We'll start with Ryan, then we'll go Ron, then I'll give my person.
I got a few.
Oh, go ahead.
Offensively, I
Mhm.
got to say Ryan Nice, the center, because he's been a spot player. He's been starting a couple of games here and there, but he's not a true bona fide guy where he knows he's the man. Ryan now is the man at that
Yeah.
center spot. You are the man. So that means you're controlling the tempo of the game right along with Michael Penix Jr. Not saying that he can't do it because we've seen flashes of it, but the one thing he's going to have to do every play, he has to take it one play at a time because it's going to be different being a guy that is the man that's going to own that spot. You're not a role player no more. You're the starter now. So I think he's going to have a lot on his plate. Kyle Pitts, of course, because now you don't have no look after what Brock Bowers did with 3 different quarterbacks, bro. You have no excuse right now and one of those quarterbacks was Kyle Pitts' quarterback, but we ain't gonna go there. But I'll say he's gotta prove it this year because he's got a contract on the line.
Yeah.
And then at that wide receiver spot, I got to see if my man, and I gotta say it because I love him, he's a special teams ace, but I want to see more consistency out of Kadero Hodge. And the reason I say that is because I love my HBCU players, but Kadero Hodge is a guy with that speed that he has, can literally not only stretch a defense, he really can make it a lot easier for Pitts and Smith and Charlie Warner and all these guys to get open. Those are my concerns offensively. On defense, my front seven, the whole front seven. And the reason I say that is because we don't know what we're getting. Talk is cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Talk is cheap. We hear this stuff in the offseason, but if we can't generate pressure, those new toys that we have from those safeties that are going to be in the back as well, and trying to get this secondary right with Kobe Bryant, it's not going to mean a damn thing if we can't get to the quarterback. So my front seven is my question mark, and my kicker. Who's going to be the kicker? Are we going to go? Are we going to go with the German, or are we going to go with? Or are they going to keep cool around? Those are my only concerns with players.
Okay. Ron, what you got?
Mine is the head coach, Raheem, got to put up a shut up this year. If you got to do better than you did last year. Raheem, you are no tight pants. Somebody take them out to Just for Men's or somewhere get some better pants. And Troy Anderson.
Ooh.
I tried to send you at Grady Hospital.
You be at Grady.
Why are you sending him to the trauma unit? He's supposed to be at Piedmont.
Because the way he played like he is. I tried, man. Every time he made a good play, he do something bad the next play. He get injured or something. I'm tired of it. And D Alpha. The bullshit you pulled last year.
Hey Ron, we got Billy Bowman now, dog. So I think Alpha might be in trouble.
I played he is.
After that play, I'm pretty confident that Terry looked over at Raheem going,
What?
"No, we ain't. No, you can't do that to me."
Right. Dog, D Alpha. You got to do better, man. I don't even feel sorry for you.
Jonathan Draw.
You been here way too damn long, dude. Be playing like that bullshit you pulled last year.
Oh my God, that was.
If you don't
You
get it
too
together
stupid,
this
man.
year during training camp, your ass gone. Matter of fact, I would go get the U-Haul truck.
And
Damn,
he'll take care of it with food stamps. You watched it, Mr. Offer.
I would go get the U-Haul truck.
He's like, don't worry, you gonna get out of here. You use time out.
What? I don't know where you going, but you gotta get the fuck out of here.
Oh damn. Well, hopefully Ryan will come back. But all right, my okay. Any more?
No, that's who.
All right. My guys is simple. I'm looking at Kyle Pitts because you ran your mouth
Yeah.
and you think we don't know any better. So perform, show up,
Well,
and stop dragging the team down. All right. Other guy that I'm looking at is I am going to look at Newsel, and I'm looking at McGrady. Okay.
yeah.
Because and also Bergeron.
Yeah.
I look at him because if you might have your fix over it and move him to right tackle, fine. You got guys.
Right.
So let's see what we could do. I want to see how we can, look, it's all about protecting our quarterback.
Right.
I want the best 5 men protecting him.
Right.
Period. It ain't. I don't care what your status is, whatnot. This is business.
Right.
And I'm looking over at. Oh, we got him back. Cool. Welcome back. We were like going, man, where did he go?
StreamYard just booted me for no
See?
reason.
Hold on. I was like, dear Lord, he did the Irish goodbye better than Ladarius did on me.
See, that's
a
we were
really
talking about the Alpha. That's oh, he got the job.
You know what? I'm gonna give you this because you mentioned the offer. Now we talked about those safeties. I'm gonna give you this because I know C-Dub gonna kill it. You remember I told y'all Iowa State quietly is a factory for corners and safeties, right?
Yes, you did.
There's a kid that we got as an undrafted free agent at safety who can also play slot. His name is Malik Vernon.
Okay. I remember him.
Solid player out of Iowa State. Plays safety, but he can play a little slot corner. So again, we have 3 safeties that we have outside of bait. Actually, that safety room is loaded right now.
Yeah.
And
You got Jordan, but Fuller's not gonna. His money's not guaranteed to be a starter. So you could,
Fuller
best
is
man
there.
wins.
Remember, we got DeMarco Helms, who was a 7th round pick. They could possibly cut him too. So again, as I said before, I've been telling people if we get corners and safeties, Iowa State quietly is a place you can go get some from. There's a problem in the league.
Oh yeah, and look, I'm cool with that. I mean, give me guys that we can rotate, move around, get. I want this defense to be, versatile. But the guys so far on offense, I said I'm looking at Bergeron, I'm looking at Newsel, and I'm definitely looking at McGarity. And of course, Pitts, because you run your mouth. Guess what? I got to now focus on your dumbass. Look, all I'm going to say is this, Falcons. I hope you're listening. If he has a great year, great. Don't sign him. Don't fall for the okie doke. This is the okie doke year. I'm telling you right now, man's gonna ball out like. You think it's gonna like, oh man, we got this, we've unlocked the unicorn. Everyone's gonna, get on to Ryan saying, look, Ryan, look how great the unicorn is. And we're all
let them go to Kansas. Let them go to Kansas City and let them do it. Tired of having a project. Let them do it. I'd rather develop Joshua Smith at this point.
Same here.
Look, but I would ask for 2 draft picks. I'd be like, hey, give me 2 draft picks. For Kyle Pitts.
I like that version.
Who is he speaking on that they're gonna put for Vernon?
I think he was talking about the corner safety from Iowa State.
Vernon is not a linebacker type, but I get where he's coming from and putting him in the box. But
And Bergeron right tackle in college moved him to guard because Matthews was there. No, I get it. I'm just saying. I want no excuses. You've got talent. Use it. You know,
Right.
'cause to me, this year is all about making the playoffs. You can't
Right.
come up and tell me, well, we don't have this guy. No, you got somebody. Find someone. You know,
Right.
get you one of those multi-tools and say, all right, we're gonna use this and we'll just deal with it. Because that's what you're gonna have to do. Ulbrich already said he's gonna be okay. Well, get us the name of the guy he's talking about because I want to just double check. But yeah, I definitely am looking at those guys on offense. Receiver wise,
Oh, we can't forget about Quincy Skinner, the kid out of Vanderbilt too. I almost forgot about him.
we'll see. Again, how are these guys going to contribute? What are we going to do? And are they going to take jobs away? But a guy I want to see, you know, always on the verge, or the guy that got drafted with, you know, Penix, Casey.
Casey
Is he going to be
Washington.
able to make the team? Because
I almost
you
forgot
got some
about him
competition now.
because I
So-
almost forgot about Casey Washington. Literally.
Yeah. So he's one that I'm going to be watching because he had a good relationship with Penix, but I want to see now with everything else going on. Now on defense, come on, we all know that, you know, the man that is known as the cottonelle tissue of the team. That if he had a really good game, he had to go to Grady afterwards to get help, or Piedmont, or whatever you want to go. But that man, he stays hurt. And all I got to say is this. I hope not to, it's like this, move him to whatever, but he's going to be one of those that we don't have to go, well, man, if we had Troy, we don't have to worry about that with what we got now. We can now look at it and go, oh, Troy did that? All right, cool. That's it. So the guys I'm looking at is who's going to play next to Jesse Bates, and are we going to get better play out of that position?
Yeah.
And who's going to be the corner to opposite Terrell? Because that's also going to be the question, especially in an attacking 4-3 or whatever we're doing.
They gonna start Hughes because of experience.
Yeah,
But I believe this is my thing. If Hughes can't stay healthy, it's gonna really end up being your boy Kobe Bryant. If Bryant can get over there at that other corner, Hughes don't get that job back. I don't give a damn how much money you get.
Yeah. I don't, like I said, you did what you did with Hughes. So, but look, you got the team you got, and I'm still looking, and yeah, the kicker position, that's going to be interesting to see.
Right.
But the biggest question mark to me is that head coach.
Yeah, Raheem. Tight pants.
You know, look, you better be ready because I'm going to go here. That dang quarterback series hasn't came out yet. And when it does, I hope y'all are ready.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get some.
Y'all gotta leave that man Raheem alone. Listen, listen, C-Dub.
Yeah.
See, you don't understand the vision. You don't understand what I'm doing right now.
Oh.
You got to let me get, you got to let me get this mojo going. You got to let me get this juice flowing. We got the juice right now. See, right now you're not understanding. We just had a great draft. Listen, C-Dub, just watch, my man. You and D Orlando Ledbetter, D-Led. What's up, D-Led? Y'all gonna eat y'all words this year, man. Come on now.
Oh,
we got this here.
So here. Hold on, get you back on here. But Raheem, could you please explain to us how the Falcons keep doing stupid stuff, and yet this stuff keeps following us, man?
Well, you got to understand, with a lot of stuff that's going on, it's a good question, D-Led. With a lot of stuff that's going on with this team, you got to understand, people gonna make mistakes. It's what happens, you know. But at the same time, these are my guys. Don't worry about that. We have this. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. You guys just don't understand that we're making moves to make some things happen. Terry has done a great job, and we're going to get a division. We're going to outrun the South again. We're going to outrun the South again. You got to understand this, man. Be patient with us. Got a lot of young guys that are going to get it done, and we're going to give you a team that you're going to be proud of. Trust me. We got this.
I think you said that last year.
Well, we proud of the team, but we're not proud of you, Raheem. So
Brother Ron, what's going on? How you doing? Hey, you got to understand, man. We're literally philosophically putting this thing together right now, brother. You got to understand. We got this going. Just like I know your blood pressure is high right now, but you got to just stay patient, stay with us. Just calm down. Just relax. We got this, man.
And do you still got those timeouts from the Washington game last year at home?
No, those, you got to understand. It was just a bad moment. Those timeouts were there. I didn't use them, but you know what? We're gonna have fresh timeouts this year, so I'll get you rekindle that, and we'll make that up. I got you on it, man. I got you.
There go 3 more timeouts. You finna take home then.
There we go. We got him right there. There he goes. He's got him right there. He's knocking him right there, folks. He can't wait for the next prime time game.
I can't even sit here and do that with a straight face. You ain't right for putting that picture up, because you literally made me break character just now.
Well, I'll tell you.
Well, you know what? That's great. Listen. That's a good picture of me. Shout out to my new drink called Timeout. We're going to definitely be one of the best flavored soft drinks. We also got our energy drink line coming down too. We're going to have the juice for you. Timeout, sodas, beverages, juice, anything you can think of. Hell, we even got the protein powder coming. We got that juice for you, baby. Timeout. It quenches your thirst. Hey, I literally just came up with that off the top of my head. That's the shit.
See?
I ain't doing nothing, man.
Y'all learning something every day. This man is the next Billy Mays here.
But
Raheem's gonna have a job after all.
Raheem got the
fantastic product.
Raheem got the coach better this year.
Oh, yeah.
He got
that. There will be no listen. As Richie says it, there will be I'm gonna go in biblical terms for you. Thou shalt not be any Terry Fontenot slander or bear false witness on my Falcons neighbor in Terry Fontenot. Y'all like how I did that?
Yeah, I like that, but I don't got no problem with Terry no more. He got my boy from Georgia. So
hey Rich, I had to do that for you one time, man. I had to throw the biblical reference in, brother.
And James Pierce Jr. Now, if we just get tight wide, Raheem, the coach better, then we be doing something.
You know what? Y'all literally I just literally came up with an idea for something I'm gonna do tonight. You know what?
Man,
y'all,
you know right, Ryan. You know,
he may not be right, but he definitely left.
Right. You know right.
Look, my favorite. Look, all I gotta say
I didn't do anything. I just said I might do a little something.
Right.
I'm all in. That's all I'm saying. But no, when I think of Raheem, look, this is all on him. It really is. Terry did everything he needed to, and to take the risk about the first round pick. Look, if everything works, the first round pick becomes you can get it moved later down. It's on this team, and we're gonna see. And I'm not mad. I think Terry did the right thing. You know, he did it. Now, of course, he's doing this the year where it's on him or not. But you know what? At least he did it. And I like the fact, hey, I got the most talented guy that fell to us at 15, but I want to come back and get this guy. You know what? If you love that guy that much and you want to come back up, you did it.
Right.
And I'm ready to see what he does. And like I said, Albrecht and Ollie, let's see what you can do, because this is now your job.
Right.
I think it's gonna be. Well, I have faith in Coach Ollie, because if you can get the New York Jets to be a top defense, and you can get the Texans to be a top D line, you get the Colts to be a top D line. I think that you can do this with Atlanta, with some of the pieces that we have. And don't forget about our defensive tackle that we got from the Rams either.
Yeah.
And then remember, we ended up getting a linebacker from the Raiders that everybody forgets about, that led their team in tackles. So quietly, everybody is very optimistic, and they're seeing what they're bringing in right now. Unfortunately, the Eagles might be getting Jalen Ramsey.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
But I also heard Atlanta in the front of that too. We talking
Money
right now.
talks, BS walks. Understand this.
That's true.
Jalen got a chance to get another ring in Philly if he goes there. Right now, Atlanta, we're just trying to get a playoff win. He loves Raheem, but let's be real. If he gets a second Super Bowl ring with another team,
Yeah.
you can go ahead and bookmark his career as Hall of Fame, sir.
Yeah.
He already got Hall of Fame numbers now.
Then, of course.
If
He
you give him
play
another
with
ring,
that
that
front
cements
line,
his place in Canton.
Yeah. You know that the dog line, I mean, they got everybody up there. I mean, it's look.
Don't listen. I don't want to know. Listen, I live here for right now. I'm gonna be moving eventually, but I gotta definitely listen to these people up here. Hey man,
This
your
thing-
Georgia Bulldogs are amazing, and you got to understand how sick I am thinking about this. They took a dog, but again, I still get sick thinking about Jalen Carter being here and not in Atlanta right now. Could you imagine Jalen Carter and now you're bringing in this kid now?
Mm-hmm.
I said it a
I
while
know.
back. We
But I'm
should-
not going.
yeah.
But here's my thing. But the rich got richer. The other guy that I felt like that had similarities to a Travis Hall was Ty Robinson out of Nebraska, and Philly got him in the draft. And that was a guy that I wanted to come to Atlanta because we haven't really had a D-line presence in the middle like that. No disrespect to Grady because he was working his ass off and doing his job. But think about it. When you have Nate Archambault, you go from that to Travis Hall, you go from that to Ed Jasper, you go from that to Jonathan Babineau. I mean, Rashid Hageman, even the short period of time he was here. When you go back to all of these D linemen that we've had in the middle and you look at the pressure that we've gotten, I can even go back to say Jeff Merrill, and then after he retires, you know, a couple of years goes down with Mike Pitts, and then you go with Oliver Barnett, who came in the 90s. So we really have to establish that nose tackle position for our defense to work. We're going to be an attack style defense, but you got to have somebody that can hold up in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, that is still going to be the big question. Who can be that guy for us? And I was hoping we could have answered that at least in the draft. But look, I'm not mad with what we got either. I think it really came off well on that. Let's see. You guys see the
I wanted to get the big boy that went to Tampa Bay to be that dude.
Oh, yeah. And wow. So the guy that wants to throw balls in the dirt was the last player drafted that was born in the 1900s. Wow. That's something.
I'm going to tell you right now, just because he missed the throw at the combine, don't be surprised. I need y'all to go look at his footage.
Oh, his footage is good. Yeah, he's good.
And he runs a 4.4.
Yeah. I actually saw the plays he was making in Louisville because I would watch some ACC games. He's good. I just thought it was funny how people picked that one throw
and I'm sitting back like we trolling as Falcon fans, but I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth. He's gonna be more of a pain in our ass than what you think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What else is new? We just said nailing the draft, but they're doing stupid stuff. That's what Falcon fans and us do. And I mean, look, my thing is this. I'm intrigued by what we did, and I do miss Paul Sully. I miss that big old Samoan. Man, I just hope that, like I said, somebody will come in and really make some plays for us. I'm interested in the Fox guy, Morgan Fox. I'm gonna say Syracuse fan. I
won't disagree with Kyle McCord being one of the best quarterbacks in the draft, but I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
Yeah,
I think the best quarterback in the draft isn't Kyle McCord, isn't Shedeur, isn't Jackson Dart. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. I think that this draft, and you talk about quarterbacks, as much as I hate to say it, Will Howard's gonna be that guy. He fell into a great situation in Pittsburgh, and the production is gonna be there. I mean, Will Howard took Kansas State to a Big 12 championship.
Yeah.
Just saying. And he goes to Ohio State, and I don't like Ohio State either. He leads them to a national championship in his first year there.
That is good.
And and now you got DK Metcalf, and then you also have George Pickens that you throw into in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And Darnell Washington.
Oh, yeah. And don't forget Fryermuth is still alive.
So yeah. So again, Aaron Rodgers possibly could be showing up, or he might not. But Will Howard he fell into a great situation that's going to cater to his playing style. Now, I think Kyle McCord or whatnot, depending on where he went, I can't even remember exactly where he went, but he's a dangerous quarterback as well. But he's a rhythm guy. He can throw it deep, but he's a rhythm guy. And we all know Cam Hayward. I'm saying not Cam Hayward. I'm thinking Cam Ward. I was thinking about Ironhead Hayward. I don't know why for a second, but Cam Ward, I feel as if I'm gonna give you this, C-Dub. Warren Moon took his number, even though two different teams but the same franchise. Warren Moon took his number 1 out of retirement and gave it to Cam Ward.
Yeah.
He's never taken his number off the rack for anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody that's come through.
That tells you something.
If Warren, and think about it, they made a promo out of it. And when Warren walked up to him, he says, keep this tradition going. Make this number great. Told him that. When Warren Moon tells you that, that's big.
Yeah. I mean, and look, I like him. I was very impressed with him.
And the closest thing we have to Warren Moon right now is, and I still say it, if you take Michael Penix's jersey number off of him, if you take his name off of him, that's the closest thing you have to a Warren Moon in today's game. And I know people are going to ridicule me for that, but I think Warren Moon is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
By the way, you have said that so like when he was in the draft process. So I'm not even saying, oh, you're just saying, no, you've said that for a long time. So yeah, I got you, man. I mean, and my thing is this. You could see the talent and you could see what he can do. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Cam Ward does, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Penix does too. But
can you imagine if we'd have had Warren Moon in that K gun and pretty much in the red, we call it the red gun offense. And remember, he ran the run and shoot out there in Houston. Could you imagine if Atlanta would have actually brought Warren Moon in with Andre Rison and them teams that we had?
Man, come on. We're going to start dreaming again. But yeah, I know.
I'm sorry. I got the list.
I would fantasy book a quarterback like Joe Montana or Warren or anyone to play with us, and I'd be like, oh man, could you imagine?
Think about it. Dan Marino considered Atlanta at one point. A lot of people don't know that. Because he loved the wide open style of offense we were running. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I know my dad when I remember hearing him say the rumor. He said he ain't leaving Miami for this place. I'm like, don't pop the bubble so soon.
Yeah, remember this, and this is my last point because I know you got to wrap up. But Don Shula, a lot of people don't know this before he went to the Dolphins. Don Shula wanted to be the head coach and GM of the Atlanta Falcons, but the Rankin boys felt like they were giving up too much power to Don Shula, and that was the reason why. We had Don Shula. I'm just gonna be honest with you. We would have had a team that would have competed for a Super Bowl with Don Shula. Most people don't even know that Don Shula was supposed to come to Atlanta, but they didn't want to give up that power. And I'm like, this man literally coached in a Super Bowl with the damn Colts and was, groomed by Weave Eubank. And he's one of the greatest coaches of all time. And we passed on that.
It's like
passed on Bill Walsh too.
Yeah. It's like you kind of want to look at him and go, what do we have? What makes us to look at him and go, oh, you're wrong. Let's give him the chance. So yeah. Man. Those are Falcon memories, or the city of damn. So yeah.
And I'm with you on that though. And I'm with Richie too with that one where he said, yeah, we got Penix. And I keep telling people, if we do right by Penix or whatnot, this will actually be a very great career if we take care of this guy and keep him upright and give him an opportunity to win. Because let's be honest, Houston gave Warren Moon weapons, but they never got over the hump. They never could. And their defense, hate to say it, folded when they got spread out by Buffalo. So we got a chance to do something. And just remember this, Warren Moon actually is Michael Penix Jr.'s mentor, by the way. So we got a chance to have this kid groomed by one of the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah. And now, look, if you're groomed by somebody, you're not going to try to let them down. This kid,
Fact.
look, I just think he is. When I look at Penix, I get excited because of the fact that he's a guy that is showing you he can take care of this opportunity, that he's ready for the chance, ready for doing what needs to be done. And
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to it. And I guess we'll worry about the Kirk Cousins stuff later on. We'll worry about everything else later on. But look, Ryan, tell the good people where to find you. I still threw a shout out about your show, but go ahead and also plug it. And just tell the good people where to find you.
I see somebody said Michael Vick should mentor Penix. I'm going to hold my judgment on that. I love Vic, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep that. I'd rather him stay with Warren Moon or whatever, because Warren's a
Yeah.
Hall of Famer in 2 leagues, Canadian Football League and also in the NFL. Never has been done before. So
And
I
the
take
playing
that.
style is so similar.
Exactly. Warren could also run too, but people don't know that because they didn't watch enough of him. But outside of that, you can find myself, the historian Ryan Walker, on the Birdcage LLC Thursdays at 8 p.m., joined by the magnificent Birdcage crew. And we definitely have a good show tonight. C-Dub, I told you you're welcome to come. I'll make sure I send you that link.
Mhm.
Also, we're going to have Friday night, we also have interview segments too during the off season and sometimes during the season, called On the Perch. And we got Dale Ellis, former Seattle Supersonic, coming on tomorrow night. That's from the Atlanta area, Marietta guy. He'll
Awesome.
be on Friday night. And then during the season, we have um, the pregame meal show that comes on before every Falcons game. We break everything down. We have the halftime show, and then you got the party line or the benediction. I'd rather see more party lines than benedictions coming up this season.
God,
So,
we need that. We need a more party line than benediction that we've
and
had a few years before.
please hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't liked and subscribed to this channel. C-Dub, Ladarius, Carey, all these folks come in here and they do a great job with not just Falcons information. Also, if you're a wrestling fan as well, please check them out as well, because they get you up to date, they keep you interested, and they have everything that you need when it comes to that. It's just like beef jerky. You get all the protein, might be tough to chew, but you get everything you need. So
Oh yeah,
I'm out. Appreciate you. And like we say in the cage, man, you either get right or you get left. Ghosts.
got it. That is Ryan the Historian, folks. And I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I know a lot of people had to bow out quickly, so let me give their plugs real quick. To find Ladarius, go to Ladarius_Brown on Twitter. Man's always putting up some great stuff, some good things. Always talking positive about the women's sports, and you can always find him doing his thing. And also check out, he might have a podcast popping either this Friday, maybe next Friday. I'm not sure yet. Also, my guy Ron and Talk Your Ish, check him out there with Dennis Holmes. One of the best. These guys are great. They talk their stuff. They are upfront and they don't hold back. Shout out to Carrie. Big shout out to Ryan the Historian, coming on in and just killing it. And you know what? Here's the deal. I say the prank calls are no big deal, but I do understand what Ryan is saying, and I respect Ryan's opinion. And my thing is, I don't like them either. But my point was, or what I want to say is this. So let's find a way to fix it. Let's not do that. All right. Let's do video chats. We have the technology now. We should be doing that. That I think would help. But also, y'all stay away, have fun, be yourselves. Don't record stupid stuff, please. No Kool-Aid challenges. Don't fight a gorilla. We don't need 100 people fighting a gorilla. Why are y'all doing that, by the way? Don't do that. Now I sound like an old man. But anyway, with that being said, check out the Birdcage tonight at 8 o'clock. And then tomorrow night, they're going to have Dale Ellis. And I really can't wait to hear that, because might have to ask Ron or Ryan to ask the question for me, especially after seeing what we saw with the Greek Freak and Halliburton's dad. But yet, by the way, got to give a massive shout out. I thought Giannis showing the class. He could have buried this guy, could have went off, but he respectfully talked about how he felt and what he thought. And then respectfully looked over at Halliburton's dad, or Halliburton was like, "Hey, my dad was in the wrong. I talked to him. We'll get it all straight." And the dad apologized. I thought a situation that looked really bad ended up being really good, and I really want to applaud these three men. I hope the NBA don't freak out all over it, because quite honestly, I think when you handle something like that, just give respect where respect's needed. So, with that being said, next Wednesday we will have a show to review wrestling. So Wrestle Take will be on. So at 5:30, check us out. We'll see you all Wednesday, and then we'll give you an update. We might take the week off, or we'll just do another show. Thank y'all so much, and look, get ready for the Falcons. I think this will be, even though, let me put this back up here, even though we do some dumb stuff, we're still Falcon fans. So let's just embrace it, let's know it, and let's just try not to be doing stupid stuff, because the Undertaker will always find us. So with that said, I am C Double. I hope everyone, King Richie, Christy Lewis, Pam, Devin, Millie Mill, I said Devin, Millie Mills, I said April, Ron, I said Ladarius, I said Pam, Christy, Sterile, and then the person that said, "Who's this?" So I hope you all enjoyed the show. We hope you come back and check us out. Birdcage, of course, Mr. Someone. Everybody, thank you all for being a part of the show. It always helps. And have a good one. I'm C Double. I'm out.